outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Discussing that heat in the street. Hey, we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what
All
you need.
alone.
Vitamin J. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin J, got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. crowd coming, man. Try to run the town. Tell them no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as they head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's by smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mad struck start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Plot bliss, know they look how it freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the gang, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Let me go with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them doors on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
Y'all are muted. Hello. Welcome everyone to episode 252 of the Vitamin G podcast. I am your host, Pharaoh, and with me I have the great Nappy Senshi and the amazing Omar. Hey man, it's great to see everyone. It's been a couple weeks. We had the holiday. I was planning on doing a show on the holiday, but I got stuck at Kofi's house. And our kids didn't want to stop playing with each other, and we just ended up not leaving in time to do a show. So yeah, I told him. I said, you gotta invite. I said he has to invite you next time. That's exactly what I said to him. He said, yeah, I do. I was like, yeah, you gotta make sure you send that invite out to Nappy next time. So I put in the good word. I put in the good word for you. But yeah, so yeah, let's kick it off with you, Nappy. How you been? What you been playing? Oh, my bad. You are now unmuted. So yeah, how you been? What you been playing?
I've been doing good. I have been playing Wukong lately. I participated in the Call of Duty 6 beta. I will have to say the movement system has definitely been improved in that game. It's also their anti-cheat system is extremely invasive, as always, at Ricochet anti-cheat software, but it's been catching a lot of people using macros, and it has been banning them for like 2 weeks to a month. So it's interesting because as much as I hate the anti-cheat software, it is working, but I just wish people stop cheating so that way we won't have this invasive ass anti-cheat software on my computer when I'm playing Call of Duty, because you're kind of like giving these people damn near root access to my system just because you guys want to cheat. I don't like it. But other than that, I did finish 2 controller reviews. The CRKD Neo S controller. This comes in many different variants. So right now, this is the green splattered paint variant that I got. Also, I got the review here for this controller. This is the Hyperkin SNES pixel art controller. This is supposed to be a Tetris-like. So after if say for instance after this podcast, when you're done with the when you're done with talking about our topics and discussions, and you still like staying up and listen to me talk, you can go over to my channel, check out controller reviews. As far as new controller reviews, I am a little sketchy about reviewing this, but 8-Bit Doe has sent me their wireless 2.4 Lite SE controller. So this controller is supposed to be for people with like disabilities or have a hard time like holding controllers in their hands. It also comes with like these two button pads. So I don't know if I should like review a controller that's like meant for like people with like disabilities or something, because I'm a fully capable person that can hold a controller in my hands. So, but I'm gonna give it a try and try to be respectful as possible. It's a playground I never played in. But other than that, also I got another mobile controller. Some company called G Story has sent me their mobile controller with Hall effect joysticks, two programmable back buttons, no software needed because you can program the two back buttons, and it supports Call of Duty Mobile. It basically it's actually a really good controller. If you're looking for a mobile controller, I would highly recommend this. Got mechanical switch keys for buttons. Triggers are nice. It's all around a good mobile controller. Other than that, though, besides Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which I tell you, movement system improved, anti-cheat software is extremely invasive because it keeps on catching, but it's catching people using macros, and just playing a lot of Wukong. Yeah, and also I did have a Wukong controller I want to show y'all, but I can't find the box. So yeah, I'll just pass it off to my other panel members.
All right. And Omar, how you been? What you been playing?
Stop. Yeah, so I got the plot. So before Astrobot came out, I went back and platted the demo Astrobot that came with the PlayStation 5 for free. After it, I just got the plot for the new Astrobot.
Okay.
And yeah, it's an amazing game. I had a blast. It's a love letter to PlayStation, but also to other devs that work with PlayStation. And I can't wait to see what's next for them. Between new DLC, uh, races, and stuff like that, speed trials. Like, yeah, it's going to be amazing. Right now, I'm playing the tourist, but that's just because, it's a podcast game. You can play it while turning your brain off. And also, I dabbled a little bit in Vampire Survivor on PlayStation 5. And it's a fun game. It gets difficult the more you play it, but it's fun. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay. All right. And let's see who made it in first. Jubei, how you been? What you been playing?
Yo, everybody. Played a little bit of Astrobot. Been playing some Madden.
Okay.
Been playing some Starfield also. Just
All right.
going back in the crate. Because I know that Starfield expansion hits at the end of this month and should be pretty dope. So
It does. Okay. And last but certainly not least, Zero, how you been? What you been playing?
What's going on, people? Man, your boy's been
Zero.
gaming. I haven't heard gaming, man. Black Myth Wukong is in the books, done and completed on to my
Nice.
New Game Plus run.
Yeah, you said you would have it finished before we did our next show. I mean, I know I gave you an extra week, but
I didn't finish mine. That's crazy.
How was it?
It's a really good, fun game. There are some things I think that's a little lost in it. A couple of things for me is one is because I have no particular reverence for the Journey to the West story.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of it is it feels very Elden Ringy, Destiny,
Over the
where
head.
it was just like you can learn about this spider lady, but like read the story and it's like stop playing the game. It's like I mean I guess, but even then like the story is written in prose, so it's written in the how it's written in the book, and I can't always follow everything. But that's just me. That's not particularly a knock on the game. China loves it. That's just me missing it. I wish it was better advertised that, I mean, I guess there's nothing you can do, but I wish it was better advertised that it was effectively just a boss rush game. Because smaller enemies mean absolutely nothing. But that being said, the bosses are some of the most creative I've seen in a long time. Please, everybody else, take note. Like, you do not have to go to the well of Greece, and at this point, Norse anymore. Like, China has shown you can take a wide variety of gods and make them look, or just beings from other cultures, and make them look interesting. So,
and tell different stories that
and tell different stories, man. Like, there's whole other cultures out here that you can tell that you don't have to keep going to, very specifically like Greece. But it's very, very fun. I saw a lot of people saying, I didn't realize this till halfway through the game, like you're not playing as Wukong, which is disappointing because the more I learned about Wukong, the more interesting of a character he seems to be, as opposed to your main character, who's just a silent protagonist.
I mean, it was kind of given away when you saw every time you died, you turned to a piece of hair.
I honestly never caught it. I thought that was just like the revive mechanic.
Wait, have you ever watched that movie with Jet Li and Jackie Chan?
No.
That was based off of Journey to the West. It was a. Oh damn! It was an action movie with Jet Li and Jackie Chan, where Jackie Chan was a drunk and Jet Li was like this monk fighter. If you watch that movie
sounds familiar. I don't know the name of it, but I'm pretty sure
I can't remember the name of it.
Because they've only done like 1 or 2 movies together. They haven't done a lot.
Just didn't know.
Yeah, but like if you watch that movie, you would have caught on immediately that you're not playing Wukong. Like no.
Once Upon a Time, the movie?
No, the Forbidden Kingdom.
Forbidden Kingdom. Forbidden Kingdom.
That's the one.
If you watch the Forbidden Kingdom, you would have known straight off the back that you clearly are not Wukong.
No, I'm stupid. I can't figure that out.
How can you say that? Damn.
Yeah, like legitimately, I was like, wait, why is he not speaking? But otherwise, I think the game is very fun. I wish there was a bit more variety in the move set. That's really most of the knock. Like, there's graphical stuff, but who cares? It still runs fine and it does everything it's supposed to do. Yeah, I feel like if we get the DLC and everything else, I think it'll work fine. I think that the last chapter is very strange, and apparently that's the first chapter that they finished. So I was a little confused at like what was supposed to be done, because you have a very specific way to play the game all the way up until the last chapter, and then it's like changes, not drastically, but it's very, very different. And I was like, this is weird. It feels like the game isn't finished. I mean, I know they just had to cut stuff for time, so when that
apparently this was supposed to be 13 chapters or something like that, but they had to cut it to just 8.
Yeah, about to say, I don't think the game is finished. I think it's
There could be DLC coming.
No, they already said there's DLC coming. They've already announced it.
A DLC at work. Apparently 2 DLCs. They want to make 2 DLCs that's gonna cover around 8 hours of gameplay, from what I've read.
Should be good. Like I said, now that I know what it is, it's such a fun challenge of a game that like all you want to do is just try to beat. Like my next goal right now, I got to do New Game Plus, and beat the secret boss, who whooped my ass in 2 moves the first time I fought him. So we'll get back to it. But I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off.
No, just laughing.
Yeah, like other than Black Myth, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta. Fire. That omnidirectional movement is wonderful. This is the first time I've been interested in a Call of Duty in a long time. Looking forward to it. And fortunately on Game Pass, so like that's wonderful. Good job for you, Game Pass. Warhammer, played a little bit of that. Very fun. Better with friends than I think it is by yourself. Where it's just hordes and hordes of creatures coming at you and having a good time. I haven't gotten far into. I think I'm only maybe 4 hours into the game, or from what I played so far, it's a great time.
And it's I think it's the most successful Warhammer game in the franchise already. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
forgot I was playing that. Yeah, it's fun.
I haven't got into it yet. I was going to get into it this weekend, but my friend, he bought the early act. He bought the deluxe edition. He says it's great, and he says PvP is surprisingly doing well, which I didn't even know that game came with PvP.
Neither. I thought the whole point was sort of a PVE type of deal.
Now it has a full PvP, and people are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in there.
So
And then,
when I saw how I was like, this is a big multiplayer weekend, with the Call of Duty. Today was the last day of the free beta for Call of Duty. Space Marines 2 I saw that had like massive success. So like I ended up checking on like how like other live service games were doing. Especially Helldivers, and that was like at like 10,000 when I checked, like 10,000. So I was like, man, I'm trying to track where you PC guys are going.
Well, right now, because Space Marine 2 is like it's a new thing, and it's been a while since we gotten a good PvP like third person shooter type in a way, because the Space Marine 2 seems to fall under its own category. Like, if you want the closest thing to it would probably be like Gears. Almost.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gears would probably be the closest thing to it.
But but the thing about Space Marines 2 is its own separate category with a unique gameplay. So that fact that it has PvP and people are still learning and trying to master this new gameplay mechanic. So not only can they play the story, but they can use it against people.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to increase its playability and playtime.
Is the story co-op?
Yes, 3 players. And drop in, drop out co-op, which I was like, yes, this is great. One of my friends complained saying that it looks a lot like Gears of War 2, and I was like, don't disrespect Warhammer like that, man.
Yeah, because I mean, like Warhammer been around pretty much about around the same amount of time the Gears franchise has been around. They've been around around the same period of time.
Yeah,
so. Franchise itself is older, right? Because I mean, just
Warhammer, I thought was older and has this whole lore behind itself. Not disrespecting Gears, because Gears has his lore and it's cool too. But Warhammer has been out longer and it has its own lore. So,
but did they always have the same gameplay style?
No.
Like Gears has always been that third person type deal. That's
it's always been top down. They got Warhammer Vermintide, Warhammer. Man, they got a Diablo version of Warhammer.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing with PC games. Like that, Space Marines and Warhammer has been more of a PC game, and they change the camera and the fighting style over time. Like Helldivers 1 and Helldivers 2 are two different type of games. Because it started out as a PC game. Even like some of like the Baldur's Gate games, they're mainly PC games, and it's evolved over the years. It's not the same as like the original Baldur's Gate games and things like that.
Yeah. Warhammer came from it was a tabletop game, like
a
little figurine tabletop.
1983. Holy shit!
Yeah, like it's been around. I remember in high school, a friend of mine used to like paint Warhammer figurines like that. It was huge in like that space. Glad to see it's getting huge in like other spaces now. That's dope. It's a fun game.
Hey man, that's what happens when you believe in your IP. You know,
you're right about that.
That'll be that's a topic for a different day. A lot of news has come out in the past 2 weeks since we've been gone. So I'm sure we can kind of hit on a lot of that in the what's on your mind. But Jubei,
yo,
did you? I don't. No, you already went. 0 was the last one. So everyone had theirs. Okay. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into what's on your mind. I kept the show to 3 topics. And just, what's on your mind is really good because we get to expand on things and maybe go a little bit deeper. So I know I'm going to let Nappy hit his what's on your mind real quick. I know he had one as far as the Devil May Cry director leaving Capcom. So
that's not a topic?
It's not a main. I did the PS Pro Tech Show. Concord gets shut down, and Xbox Tokyo Game Show, because Tokyo Game Show's like in like a week and a half. They just announced. But yeah,
it got dropped.
You didn't. No, it didn't get dropped. It got moved into what's on your mind. You have the floor is yours to talk on it. So
Oh man, but yeah. So if you guys haven't known, the director of Devil May Cry 5 and Dragon's Dogma 2 is actually leaving Capcom after 30 years.
Okay.
And he's not getting away from gaming forever. He says he's going to start a new project in September. And I am like,
It's September now.
well, oh shit, it is September. The article. Well, I'm
So he's moving on to a different
2
company?
weeks ago. We don't know yet. He hasn't really said anything.
Okay.
So like we don't know what company he's moving on to or anything like that. But it's just that it's I'm kind of a little sad that he's leaving Devil May Cry behind and Dragon's Dogma 2, especially Devil May Cry, because the last project we got from Devil May Cry that he actually did not have no involvement in was Devil May Cry's Peak of Combat for the mobile game. And that game is greedy as fuck with all the mobile microtransactions they did. And it surprisingly is doing very well. And I noticed that Capcom, with all their games on the not on the mobile side, but also on like the actual like PC and console side, been slowly dipping their foot into try to squeeze out as much microtransactions without pissing people off.
Okay.
And when you take away a passionate like director from like that decides to leave Capcom, it leaves 2 well-established IPs, especially Devil May Cry. I am concerned for the future of Devil May Cry. I don't know exactly what direction they're going to take. I mean, he left off on a good note where basically Nero got the proper passing of the torch. I mean, I understand that he also had a team of people. I don't know how passionate the team is or Capcom is about Devil May Cry, so we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that's my only thoughts. I'm just a little concerned about Devil May Cry now that he's like leaving his baby behind.
It'll be interesting. His name is Hideki Itsuno. And I didn't know, but he worked on Capcom versus SNK 2, as well as a co-director for Power Stone. So like he's got a pretty solid resume for a good portion of his years.
Yeah, he's worked on some heavy hitters for sure. All right, Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry's been quiet for a little bit. Are they working on a DMC6?
We don't know what's going on. So the last DMC project we got was unfortunately that mobile game that he didn't have nothing to do with. Just Capcom just gave it to some other company to make a mobile game, and that pissed a lot of people off because at first it was actually good, and then all of a sudden they updated the game and the whole fighting mechanics just to be able to charge customers more money for like loot boxes and stuff. So people were extremely upset. Like, you can't even switch between a gun and a sword. That's how bad it is now.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering where Devil May Cry comes, because they could do a 6, but they also it's been 5 in the series. They could easily do a reboot too. Like they can go.
We're not doing a reboot. We're not getting emo Dante again. Never again.
They don't have to reboot him as an emo Dante, but I'm just saying they got some room. It's been a while. You're 5 installments in. I mean, you can go. You can go to Resident Evil route and just keep on pumping out.
I mean, but the way how 5 ended, they literally did the proper passing of the torch to Nero for being the devil hunter for Earth, while Dante and Virgil are in the demon realm.
Yeah, that sounds good. Until they don't want
to. We want Dante back.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds good until you don't want to let go of Dante. That's what I'm saying. They're in a. Because I haven't heard, that's my thing. I haven't heard anything in such a long time. I'm wondering, are you doing Devil May Cry 6? And if you're not doing Devil May Cry 6, it's kind of like,
who's going to be a director of that? Is a good question.
Yeah.
And because now that he's leaving and he's doing his own thing now, Dragon Dogma 2 was a good game. I don't care what no one says. A lot of people said that the mechanics were janky and a little outdated. I think it was a great game. But yeah, especially all the special cutscenes when you showed the behind the scenes of how we made the cutscenes and the motion capture stuff with all the cool little figures and stuff.
Yeah.
You could tell that was passion. What you say?
Did it do well for Capcom?
Yeah, Devil May Cry did do well for Capcom.
No, I meant Dragon's Dogma.
It did. It did do well. It did decent. It
Oh.
wasn't like a game breaker, but it did do decent.
It wasn't like Elden Ring, but it sold well.
No. Like, I guess better question. Does it seem like they were happy with it?
Yeah, they made a profit. If is a
Okay,
better
yeah.
que- yeah, they made a profit. So it wasn't like a deficit like Concord or like some other titles. But
Dead Space.
Yeah, like a Dead Space. Like people liked it, it just didn't really sell that well.
Because
yeah, but
it was niche to begin with. It didn't have like this huge base that was asking for it. So
yeah, Dragon's Dogma. It was a niche title, but because of the niche audience of Dragon's Dogma 1, a lot of people got into 2, and it's just I don't think they were ready for like the weirdness that Dragon's Dogma 2 unleashed. I honestly wasn't even ready, especially that whole dragon virus with the pawns. I was not suspecting that.
It take it on around 10 years to get to 10 million.
But for Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm not sure. I can't.
One.
I don't know all the sales for Dragon's Dogma 1. I just know it got re-released with all the DLC in a complete package.
I remember it.
And that sold very well.
10 million copies, but in 10 years. Like, I need to look it up myself. But sadly,
Okay.
Dragon Dogma was never that type of game to sell well. And I'm surprised they made a sequel. I've yet to play it myself, but I have heard some mixed things about it. From absurd difficulty spike to if you do one move, you end up in endgame and you're screwed.
It's yeah. I mean, like I said, the game kind of got people in the catch-22 because it's its own genre.
It's a good
be honest with-
WRPG, but it's not.
It's like a lot of people try to compare it to like, oh, it's a Dark Souls like. It's not a Dark Souls like.
No, it's not. No, we're not doing. It's more like Shut Up the Colossus-esque. The way you climb up the enemies. But that's where the similarity stops.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Anybody else have anything regarding Capcom?
Don't
More
fuck-
days. Capcom Fighting Game Collection drops.
All right.
Yeah.
It
Shout
does
out to-
drop.
Shout out to Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
now
they-
Juve can actually catch these hands, these generational hands.
Wait,
Throughout
are we talking about
history.
are we talking about MVC2?
No, I'm talking
about all of them.
I'm talking
these
about. I'm talking about shout out to Xbox for funding Kiritsu no Gaming. Phil Spencer came out and said that they funded. They didn't fund it, but I'm not sure how much they paid for it. But they helped with the funding for Kiritsu no Gami. So shout out to them for doing so.
Great little roguelike. That's good. I mean, not roguelike.
Tower
Tower
defense.
defense. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yes, I was saying on the 11th, Capcom Fighting Collection comes out. I can't wait. Can't wait.
I don't think it's coming out till Xbox till 25 though.
I know. It sucks. It's all right.
By then you'll have mastered the game and you'll be too good for Jubei, so he'll just duck the smoke on you.
He was going to duck
last
anyway.
last thing I got. Here's my Wukong controller.
Okay.
That's still in the box. I got the box, but it's an 8-bit Do controller. It's for PC only, but it's Wukong theme.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I actually got the. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I thought you were done.
I'm done.
Yeah, I got the Astrobot controller.
Oh, really? Nice. How you like it?
We're transitioning into you, Omar, anyway. So yeah, go ahead. Talk about the controller and everything Astrobot. I know that was one of the topics you wanted to hit on.
Yeah, so I pre-ordered the controller and it arrived. The box was a little bit dent. Sadly, if I was a collector, I would have been pissed. But the issue is you can't do anything about it because I've seen people that sold pre-ordered the controller and they never got any.
Yeah, I mean, as far as PlayStation packaging goes, this generation, the packaging hasn't been the best on their
No,
products.
it's not the packaging part. It's the site where I bought from. They
Okay.
didn't protect it. Like it came with a cheap ass bubble wrap. It didn't come with a good firm box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know the
But
PlayStation
luckily,
5 box, it's not as like the box itself that it comes in just isn't as durable as the
the PS5 box, if I'm not correct, it was done because of
oh, man, let me mute Happy. Oh,
Oh,
oh, there we go. Go ahead, Omar.
the PS5 box was done, I think, because of uh, the night nature. I forgot what it's called. For recycling take
Maybe
from what I yeah from what I've heard.
possible. But yeah, tell us about
But yeah,
Astrobot. Let's
going back to
how,
Astrobot,
and the controller blinks and stuff, right? Too, right?
the controller it's cute. It's so the thing about Astrobot is in the game it actually turns into close to what do you call it? Uh almost it have like a little jetpack. Not per se jetpack, but like I forgot what you call them. A strut an engine. Let's call it an engine, and it's actually super cool. Um, Sadly, this one doesn't, but apparently, yeah, it's a game. That's why. But besides that, it's a cute controller. I do recommend it if you need a controller. So with my controller, my old one was joy drifting, and instead of buying a random controller, I waited until it was um after about 10, and I bought it, and I'm happy.
Okay. Cool.
And
But what are your impressions
yeah,
of the game so far? You said you platinumed it
oh
already.
yeah, I platinumed it. It may sound a lot, but like the game is short, but that's mostly because I know life did. That's why.
Yeah, but also platformers aren't typically meant to be the longest games ever either. So I mean that's also part of it. But that's not a bad thing. That's just typical platformers. They're not.
I did have a blast with it. Like I really had a blast between the music, the platforming. Uh, like they put so much homage to PlayStation, to their IPs, to their history. It's insane.
So do you did you ever have PSVR?
Sorry?
Did you have PlayStation VR?
No,
The original one.
no.
Okay.
I never played the original one.
Okay.
Playing the demo was my very first time that I played Astrobot.
Okay. Yeah, I was just asking because they had apparently the boss in the first boss in Astrobot is the exact same boss that's in the VR version. It's the
Well, so
exact.
basically, the first boss from Astrobot, the VR one, was created with the help from Double Fine
Yeah.
and Team Asobo. Team Asobo paid homage to them
Yeah, I saw that. I
by
saw that too.
making this boss close to the first one as possible.
But people are saying it's like 1 for 1. It's not like close.
I'm not sure if it's 1 for 1 or not because I never played the first one. But
Okay.
I did see the tweet
Alright.
that Double Fine put out, celebrating Astrobot and thanking them for
Yeah.
paying homage to them.
Yeah, and we also
But
saw the
besides
Days
that,
Gone developer too, so it's like
yeah,
far ends of the
he
spectrum.
he is
He was
on his
salty
own
Sammy,
with this
man.
one.
He was
He
salty Sammy.
Yeah.
It not salty only. Apparently, he had to take anger management class from Sony. He
Okay.
admits it himself. Like this dude is a whole ass mess. He
I
is
mean,
the I remember.
I'm gonna be real. He kind of has a he has a legitimate axe to grind. He made a game that the community loved, and if it weren't for one person that's above him that didn't like the game, his career would look a lot different. So I mean, like, yeah,
Who,
he has a legitimate thing to be upset about.
dude? I have the platinum in Days Gone. I love Days Gone, but that doesn't change the fact that the way he went about it is not the right way.
Well,
Absolutely not.
you only see
Like,
one, but you only get to see one side of it. You don't get to
no,
see
no,
his
no,
side
no.
of it.
I'm specifically talking about the tweet itself. He made
Oh,
an ass out of himself.
oh well,
Like,
the bridges have already been
after,
burnt. The bridges have already been
yeah,
burnt. So he's
but that's
at that
not
point.
it, though. He is accusing, he is now downplaying their teammate. Like, like the only reason Deacon is in the game because he is a PlayStation mascot, like other PlayStation mascots. That's it.
Yeah, but if he's not good enough, he's not good enough to get a sequel. He's not good enough to be an Astrobot. I don't side with him, but I understand.
Dude,
I understand the place that he's coming from. I understand
they
him being
have
upset.
close to there are so many characters that some of them, not most, some of them I didn't recognize or know about. Like I have no idea uh, how many research they did, but they did a lot of research. Welcome to this game. Are you going to play it?
Am I gonna play Astrobot?
Yeah.
I'll probably cop it once it comes to PC. They're talking about it coming to PC. So yeah, I'll jump on it then.
Uh, It's you're gonna love who they have in it.
Yeah, they got. I mean, I know they got a little bit of everything, and I've been playing on PlayStation since the PS1 days, so I'll definitely identify with a lot of the characters. For
It's really cool.
sure.
I looked up a list of like I just watched a video of all the characters and like it was delightful the whole time. Like I just
I'm
smiled
not,
the whole way through because I was like, they really did. It really is a nice love letter to the history of PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it's fun and it's like this is cool, man. Like this is. I will say, as far as I can tell, they omitted what I think is one of the greatest PlayStation games of all time, and that's Fat Princess. But that's okay. I think she was in the first one, or the one that the tech demo. But they disrespected my girl. But otherwise, they had. I was happy to see that Deke was in there. Like,
Is my guy Parappa the Rapper in there?
yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
and his spin-off cousin, Unjammer Lammy. I was like, bro, they got Unjammer Lammy in this joint. That's how I know they were like they were cooking. They were cooking.
Parappa the Rapper could come back as a mobile game at least.
They have a lot.
I can see that.
Yeah, it could at least come back as a mobile game.
They have so many games. They have so many characters. It's not even funny. The total characters is 300 something, but most of them are bots. Like you don't interact. They don't do stuff. But the actual characters close to 190 or something like that. And the fun thing about it, we're gonna get even more.
They need to hand Hiroki to Toki that controller so you can see all the characters he actually does have.
I will say this though, Square Enix didn't get us any love with this one.
I don't think it's a matter of them getting any love. Maybe they just didn't want their characters in the game.
No, there isn't. Like, Sora is not there.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe they didn't want their characters in the game. Maybe it's not we didn't get love.
That makes no sense.
Well, but Square Enix not being there is not particularly true, right? Because Dart's in there.
Is Dart a Square Enix game?
Isn't Legend of Dragoon a Square Enix game?
Yeah, he is.
No, it's not a Square Enix game. It's an SIE game.
That's SIE. Never mind.
They made Legend of Dragoon to be the Final Fantasy killer. And then when they couldn't kill Final Fantasy, they grew closer to them. But yeah.
But yeah, another one I love, Okami is in there, Amaterasu.
Yeah.
And he looked cool as fuck.
Because they had like the Buster Sword and stuff in the tech demo, Astro's Playroom. They had
that in the tech demo, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like if I'm sure, like if Square wanted their stuff in there, I'm sure they would have had something in there, especially as close as their history.
Who knows? Yeah. No, the thing is, I expected Final Fantasy X cast member to be there.
Well, you know, Sony has to pay for that too. It's not like, so that's what I'm saying. Maybe the money was funny on one side or the other. One person wanted more money or whatever, because that's not done for free. So I'm sure it's a money thing. So at some point, maybe it does. Maybe it does in the DLC.
I would not be surprised if it go to DLC. But besides that, if you have PlayStation 5, you play Astrobot. If you want to know how it's gonna be, play the demo.
Yeah, so
I mean by that, the deck demo. That's all you need to know.
I haven't played it yet, but if there was a Square Enix character that I would want in Astrobot,
you never played the tech demo?
No, I played the tech demo, but I'm saying if there was one character I would want inside of Astrobot, I'm getting a bit of an echo from somebody. I think it's you, Nappy. It would be Brave Fencer Musashi. I would love to see him in like an Astro's Playroom.
That's a callback right there.
Yeah, that's who I would like to be in there. It wouldn't be a Final Fantasy character. It would be Brave Fencer Musashi.
Unfortunately, that's still Square / Enix. Really, Enix.
No,
Square made that, right?
Yeah, Square made that. But I'm saying if a Square, that's what I said. If a Square character was gonna be in there as a love letter, it would be that one. Because
nailed it.
Brave Fencer Musashi was one of the it was like a PS1 game that actually had some voice acting in it. Which was, really rare back then, and it's a really cool little game. If you guys can go find it and play it.
What's its name?
Brave Fencer Musashi.
I'm gonna look up if it's in there or not.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find it on PC somewhere on the emulator if you're gonna play it, probably.
Yeah, it's an excellent game, and low-key, now I think about it, very not too dissimilar from game mechanics from Kirby. And how the whole transformation base was find an enemy, transform, and then use those skills.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
We lost him?
No, he's looking at something, I think. But yeah, I know Jubei wanted to talk about Astrobot as well. Did you have any thoughts on Astrobot, Jubei? Oh, going once.
My biggest thing with it is I thought it's too easy. That's my issue.
I think that's kind of what they were going for, though.
No,
I disagree with that because the secret level is difficult. It's not for kids.
But once you make it that far, you're invested. You're locked in.
No, but you can still there's a little item you can get if you leave a stage and come back to it. There's an item at the beginning of the stage. You can pay 200 little gold coins, and it blinks and beeps at you when you're by a collectible or something.
Yeah, but that you already beat the level ones.
You don't have to beat the level ones. I've made it halfway through a level, didn't finish, left, came back to it, and I could buy it at the beginning. I just had to start over. You don't have to finish it to buy it. You just have to if you leave it. Like if you like say you're going through and you find a secret level, you end up out of that. Like you don't get to finish that level until you come back to it. Like I came back and it's like, oh, I can buy the hints. Like all you have to do is show up and like leave.
Yeah,
And you can
I
do
had
that.
no idea that you can buy it. I was okay with it because one, let's keep it a buck. A lot of people gonna YouTube the
Yeah.
level to find
I just wish
where,
it showed up after you at least completed it
and
once.
this is just YouTube with less extra steps.
Mm-hmm. Pretty
It's
much.
only
Mhm.
200 gold coins, which I
Mm-hmm.
get it right if it shows up before before you beat it. Which I'm surprised because mine I never quit a level. Would you agree that it was versatile as fuck?
Huh?
Versatile. The
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. Like the level, I guess the level diversity is definitely there. Like you're definitely doing something different on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So do we think, based on the reception to this, that Sony's going to take some hint and maybe start making, something more like this instead of their sort of traditional bread and butter?
I don't think so.
I don't think
I,
so.
I, I think that I
No,
think that
I
studio
believe
I think that
so. I
studio
believe
might,
so.
but
I believe they're gonna find a balance. The
I
after Team Asobi is gonna stay Team Asobi, and they're gonna keep doing their own thing, and we always have Ratchet.
yeah I would say Insomniac might make another platformer, and maybe Media Molecule because they haven't done something in a long time, and then they have another studio that hasn't done anything in a while. That might
The studio behind Concrete Genie.
isn't that Media Molecule? Wasn't that them?
Media Molecule.
Yeah.
There is Concrete Genie, and there is the studio behind Dreams. So
That's
there is
Media
two.
Molecule as well.
Oh, there's a behind. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. They haven't done anything in a while, so I mean, like maybe them. Uh,
But the
um,
rumor is they were working on a live service game.
but
But who knows? This game got shut down. Nobody knows.
I would I don't think the other studios are gonna go to those smaller platform type games because they've already made this live service push, and I think a lot of them just want to get back to what they're really good at. You know, the third person over the shoulder type narrative driven story. I don't know how many different ways you can yoke those people who want to make the type of games that they want to make. Kind of what I'm saying. So, but I do think you got 3 studios who might make platformers, and that would be Insomniac, Team Asobi, and Media Molecule. Yeah. Anything else? Are we going to ready to jump into our main topics of the day?
Yeah, I think we can.
All right.
Jump. Topic.
Nap, we're getting a little bit of feedback from ourselves on your end.
Uh,
I don't know how you got
I'm
headphones on, but
No, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like I was like, my mic is dang. I make sure the mute button works. I didn't hit the mute button the last time, and I was putting dishes in my dishwasher, so that was me at the beginning.
yeah. So somehow there's an echo. It's very mild, but
Wait, you can hear that go now still?
only when I talk. Oh, now not now. It's not happening right now. But you were like lighting up green and everything on the Discord.
Interesting.
But it's not happening right now. But I was just making you aware of it. But
Okay.
before we jump into topic number 1 of the day, we just want to thank everyone who's here live in the chat right now. Thank you to Taozochi, Yobi, Ryu Art Gaming. Can't appreciate it even more. And if you're here or you're checking us out later on after our broadcast, be sure to hit that like button, share us out. We greatly appreciate all you guys. With that said, let's jump into our first main topic of today, which is the announcement of the PS5 Pro Tech Show tomorrow. Apparently, Mark Cerny is going to be doing a 8-minute showcase, is what it said. And I don't have the time for that right now.
9 minutes. minutes.
9 minutes. So I'm talking about the time that it starts. It's like because they always do that Pacific time, and I looked at it quickly, but I think it's around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 'Cause I think it said 5 BTD, PDT, whatever it is. So, but yeah, apparently that's gonna be the announcement of the PlayStation 5 Pro. The long rumor, and I feel like we've been talking about this PS5 Pro for like 2 years now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that announcement just to kind of get it out the way. We've been wondering for a while now would PlayStation really go through with it. So now that we have the official word that we're gonna get something tomorrow, I just want to get the panel's thoughts. So, Omar, are you actually interested in hearing about this PS5 Pro? Is this a piece of
Yeah.
hardware you would be interested in attaining?
I want to see what the fuss is about. And from there, I'm gonna see what next. Because here's the thing, I have my PlayStation 5 right now, but it's out of warranty.
Okay.
So if the Pro comes and it's close to affordable, I can sell my PS5 and get the Pro.
Or if they give you a good trade-in deal, you know.
Something like that. That's how I bought the PS4 Pro. I
Okay.
traded in my PS4 that was again out of warranty, and I got the Pro. And then the PS5 came out. So my question is this: one, if you are revealing the Pro this year, when it's coming out? If it's coming out, let's say, rumor it's in November.
Yeah,
This
that's what they're
year,
saying.
November.
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. We are right now 2024, and the rumor is that Xbox is launching their next gen 2026.
2027, I thought is what the rumor was.
I thought 2026, according to
I've been saying 2026.
according to the CMA document.
Well, maybe.
It went 20. So the question becomes: is PlayStation also going 2026, or are they gonna start later? So that's the only interesting thing. Not the only. That's the only thing about the Pro that bugged me. It's like, when is the PlayStation 6 coming out then?
Yeah. Well, in regards to the PlayStation 6, with the PlayStation 5 Pro coming out now, I would say it kind of puts PlayStation in a precarious position if Xbox were to release the whatever next version of the Xbox is in 2026. If that was their next generation, it would put them in a awkward situation. Because when they start their next generation, in some ways you gotta kind of you can be more powerful, but you kind of got to be similar to the other consoles of that generation just for the developers. So that might be a little bit of an issue. And even if you release something more powerful, Xbox can release a quote unquote pro version to match it when you announce when your PlayStation 6 comes out. Whenever that's 2 or 3 years later, they can always, release a pro model. So it does kind
Well,
of.
the thing is, this is my saying. I'm pretty sure he already got the 6 locked down. Welcome to specs and everything like that. I would not be surprised if it's already in development right now. Because that's a different 6 would be in development.
Probably in R&D, not in actual development would mean like dev kits are out.
In the sense of they have mapped out the design and the
they start doing
and
that the
everything
moment
like
they
that.
release the PlayStation 5. The same thing with Xbox. Xbox started designing their next generation console as soon as they released the series. They start working on the next one immediately.
So the 5 feels like the Pro feels like a dessert, while the main course, the 6, is going to be either 2026 as well or 2027. Because I can't see them waiting that much longer and giving Xbox such a long head start.
That's
Like,
a tough case to
hey,
justify
no one,
making people pay for a Pro and then a
hold
6
up.
a year and a
How
half
are they
later.
making the same with when Xbox launched their Pro. It's a choice. People have the choice to buy it or not buy it.
Yeah,
It's
but
not like
I mean, I'm just
you're
telling you how the consumer feels. The consumer's gonna feel like I gotta. If they bought the Pro, you're talking about a consumer who is because this console is gonna be expensive now. It's gonna be more expensive than the current. If you were willing, if you're the market of consumer that was actually willing to buy a Pro, you're gonna feel pressured when the next console launches to buy that next console. You're that type of customer. You know what I'm saying? So if you're that type of
absolutely, but
customer,
you're also customer that's
it's a tough sell is what I'm
aware
saying to that type of
of
customer.
the situation.
You know, that's all I'm saying. Like no one's
I
making
get
them
you.
buy it, but if you're that type of consumer, you know, like you just kind of feel that type. Like the people that bought the Asus ROG day one, those are the same people who bought the new Asus ROG X that came out, you know, like a year and a half later. In most cases, so um, that's all I'm saying. Just kind of
Yeah,
makes it kind
but
of a tough sell.
besides that, just 9 minutes feel super short.
Yeah, it does feel super short. It
Unless they wanna, have the reveal out of the way and then do a demonstration down the road at Tokyo Game Show. Cause apparently Kojima is gonna be at Tokyo Game Show and Death Stranding 2 as well. So who knows? Death Stranding 2 could be running on the Pro.
could be, because Death Stranding 2 should be coming out pretty soon. I
Yeah,
would
it's
think
coming next year.
I would yeah, I was about to say I would think it'd come out next year. I would think so. Um, but yeah, so let's see. I'm gonna move this over since we don't have Kofi here. I'm gonna go to the next hardware nut, and that would be Jubei. What are your thoughts on this PS5 Pro announcement? That's coming. What's up, 108 Dragon? Thanks for coming through. Jubei going once, going twice. All right, I am gonna go.
Maybe and Daddy Doody.
Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna throw it down to my guy Zero. Not quite a hardware whore, but he has a little bit of everything.
I like machines. They work well. I'm not going to be down on the PS5 Pro because there's an audience for it, and it's cool. It's a mid-gen refresh type of deal, so I understand the necessity of it. But I'm around the PS3 era. There's a PS3 Pro, right?
No, there was never a PS3 Pro.
There's not a PS3 Pro.
Up until the 4 and the 1 era, systems just got smaller. They never got like a performance.
That's what it was.
Boost.
But the original PS3 is like uniquely its own thing. That
the original PS3 is worth a whole lot more money than the other PS3s.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what colors my view on this, where I've spent much more time with my gaming without a pro system, if you will, than I have. But and I know there's been pseudo versions of them, right? Like the smaller ones probably ran a little better, and they were more compact, so you can quote unquote maybe consider them pros. But I've never really been down with the idea of them to begin with. Like I don't like the idea that you're going to release what is arguably a more powerful console about midway through your generation. And to me, it only speaks to, so what were your plans with the original console? Are you utilizing it till its fullest potential? Are you making any of these things happen? It's just part of the sacrifice of just dealing with hardware and software. That could be it, so I don't know. I'm not Mark Cerny, and I don't really tune into Mark Cerny type of chats when it comes to game creation and that level of fidelity being, here's how we make hardware and here's how we do all that type of stuff. But just the notion of the pros always rubbed me the wrong way for anybody, for Xbox or PlayStation. I don't particularly care for them. That being said, we know it's coming. I'm intrigued by it because I'm just curious, like, what is this going to do differently than the PS5? And the PS5 is really supposed to be a very, very good system. And then that begs the question: if we're what 3 years away from the PS6,
Mhm.
then the Pro effectively is just a pretty upgrade. Like, I don't think there's going to be any games that are designed specifically to utilize all of the capabilities of the Pro.
Can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
Apparently, developers are delaying their game to make an upgrade for the Pro specifically.
It won't be much of an upgrade. It's just gonna be like a little bit up-res, a little bit more stable frames.
Whatever the Pro offers, that's what you're gonna get.
True. And so then my question then becomes, like, what developers have been waiting, and for how long, and where do these games then get released? Because again, if we're talking about 3 or 4 years, I still think it's early, but I do understand COVID has messed up my entire sense of time. But like, it's weird to me that we're already talking about a PS6. It's just weird to me. I feel like we have so much longer with these systems.
We have been 5 years in the PS5 and Xbox Series X generation, but it doesn't feel like that.
It just doesn't feel like we've been here this long.
Because of COVID.
Yeah,
We haven't gotten a lot of games because of COVID.
Yeah.
Third party wise. PlayStation gave us a few. Xbox gave us one or two. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, November will make 4 years. So by the time,
Yeah.
I think a generation should go 8 years. Me personally, like,
Actually, I feel it's gonna be shorter, especially with what you call it, Xbox launching to 2026.
yeah.
It's
But I'm
gonna be
saying,
six-
but I'm saying, I think
7 years.
generations. I feel like generations should go on longer because I don't know. I guess I'm spoiled from the PlayStation
I
3.
understand why you feel. It's just I don't think the companies are gonna count what you call it, COVID. They wanna move past that, and how do
Yeah,
you do that?
I
By
hear you.
introducing a new generation.
I hear you, but the reason that I think that these generations should go on a little bit longer is like what I was gonna say is that I'm spoiled from the PS3 and Xbox 360 generation where like you got Halo 2, 3, and 4 all like in one generation. You got multiple Gears games all within one generation, whereas like in this generation, you only get one Gears game.
You're
Like,
going to get one.
yeah.
You're going to get one of every property.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You're only getting one. Where back then they were churning out multiple games of like you got multiple sequels, you got multiple new IPs, and it's just game development takes longer.
Hey man, these new graphics, man, y'all want these new latest and greatest.
Yeah, but
it takes time.
But because these games take so much longer, it feels like the generation should take a little bit longer along with it. But yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at with it.
I agree, Pharaoh. I really agree that like and this pulls me back to sort of my point about the Pro, where I'm not sure, and it can't be because from everything I hear, both of these systems are incredibly powerful machines.
Mm-hmm.
Like the developers have not even really hit their stride with the PS5 or the Series X, right? Like there's somebody out there who, if the wizards at Nintendo can make Tears of the Kingdom do what it does, then definitely there are people at Sony and Microsoft who can do some amazing things with these systems. And you're telling me that like we're about to be done with this already, so that now we got to wait again for a whole new development cycle to do another thing.
Yeah, we got to hear about how this new console is hard to develop for, and dev kit. We're waiting for new tools to come to this dev kit or that.
Exactly.
Where
folks can have this 5 and start mastering this joint. And I'm sure there are people who want to do it. Like, I know the developers who like, if you give us some time, give us a little bit of time to cook, we're gonna put something good for you. And that's what I hope is gonna, you know, that's my concern with the 5. I understand why the 5 exists, and it really is it's an enthusiast machine. Like, it's not for the regular person, I think, who just buys a PS5. In the same way that the PSVR wasn't for a regular person. Like, that's for folks who are really invested and really want to try this stuff out. And I think that's cool because people should have that opportunity to do that at like the highest fidelity that they can with their big TVs and their great sound systems and their great game machines that go along with them.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's like the 5 Pro feels weird. That said, I'd be intrigued if it looks different. And honestly, like Omar said, if I could find a good deal on it, I wouldn't be opposed to getting one. If I can upgrade my 5 to one. But yeah, I treat it in the same way like you treat getting a new car, where it's like, if you aren't going to give me the best deal possible, and for the most part don't affect my car payment, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine with what I need to do, because I'm telling you, man, like there's going to be some games coming within the next couple of years that's going to be fantastic on the PS5, with or without the Pro existing.
Yeah, it's like as soon as developers are hitting their stride on these new consoles, a new console comes out. It's like, come on now. But yeah, Nappy,
So I heard you.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I just one question. I guess I'll ask Nappy as well since start there, because I heard you and Omar say it was too short of a time. Nappy, you know tech more than I do, and I watched Mark Cerny once, and I had to tune out. I could not figure this dude out.
kind of boring.
Like,
what's going on?
it went like, do you think 9-minute, I guess, tech talk about the new system is too short? I thought that's too long.
Actually, I think 9 minutes. I mean, it is long. I mean, because the thing is just like, because honestly, nobody's not going to understand the tech mobile jumble. Like, I'm not like a lot of people don't know that. Like, hey, what's the GPU inside the PlayStation 5? Oh, it's a custom AMD RDNA 2 chip. And they're like, oh, that must be a very powerful chip. Well, we're on RDNA 4 that's about to come out next year. So it's already 2 generations behind. So this PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be like, okay, we're going to show you the latest and greatest PlayStation 5 specs with this new RDNA 3 custom chip that's supposed to be twice as fast compared to the RDNA 2 in the regular PlayStation. And then they could just showcase the games in between. I mean, honestly, you can get that done in like maybe 5 or 6 minutes. I don't know how deep in the tech they're going to go. And honestly, we don't even know yet like what's in this new PlayStation 5 Pro, because I mean, some of these gaming handheld, like computer handhelds, are using RDNA 3 inside of them. Like you guys mentioned the what was
Asus
that?
ROG X.
Yes, the Asus ROG X actually uses RDNA 3 rather than RDNA 2. So if the PlayStation 5 Pro does have RDNA 3 based chip inside of it, then I am very curious to see where the performance gains compared to the compared to 3. So I mean, the only thing you can do is just by side comparisons with, can you guys have finally achieved that 4K 60 FPS that was on the box that no one has yet to achieve with these like high rendering games with high graphics and stuff. So, or is it like adding AI into us? Because a lot of people are trying to add AI into RDNA 3. So, I mean, I don't know. I gotta see. I mean, if they show like AI helping it, we'll see.
I mean, I'm just going off of the previous generation's Pro. It didn't introduce new features. It just made the console stronger. So I don't anticipate them. I don't anticipate the Pro introducing new hardware features. I just don't see that.
Why, you think they're going to stick on that RDNA 2 and just going to boost it somehow?
I mean, it may have a stronger chip in there. I'm not disputing that. Of course, it's going to be more powerful, but I'm just saying it won't introduce like new features like a AI chip or something in there, because typically you would save that for your next generation, as opposed to, you know, there being a distinct difference between the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro on something other than just performance.
Yeah, I got you. Well, like for my thoughts about it, I'm just curious to see what this PlayStation 5 Pro can do. I wanted to see like play a game like what's a game that's hard to render, like Alan Wake 2 or Final Fantasy 16 at 4K 60 FPS. If it could achieve that, I'll be impressed. I know that it's probably a long shot, especially for that RDNA 2 chip. Maybe they may found some type of way to master it and add some tricks up the sleeve to, you know, make the FPS goes up. I don't know. I have to see it. So that's pretty much all I got.
Okay. All right, now I'm gonna try to get Jubei one more time because I know he's the tech whore. So, Jubei, what are your thoughts on the PS5 Pro announcement?
9 minutes is mad short, so I
for
honestly
you it's short.
think it's mad short.
Okay.
You got to think about their actual PS5 reveal was longer than that.
All right.
Didn't know that.
I just have a feeling we're going to be getting the same games, just maybe they stick to their 60 FPS targets way more consistently, and you know we have maybe have to rely less on resolution tricks as far as, you know, like upscaling or reconstruction, etc. Like I'm not expecting like next gen console performance. Like that's just not going to happen because the CPU is only 10% better than what's in it right now. So that we're not really getting the gains outside of prettier, more stable games. Like that's pretty much it. If that's worth $600-$700 to you, I mean, more power to you. We'll see. I am still interested in what they have to say, but I'm not going into this expecting like the leap that we got from like the 1 to like the 1X, because that was pretty.
And you went from a
substantial.
VCR to an actual console.
I'm about to say that was actually like they actually updated the hardware in the one from the one.
They really did.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm about to say if Microsoft can do it, you don't know Sony. Like I said, they're an RDNA 2. They could put an RDNA 3 chip into the PS5 Pro. You don't know.
But you gotta remember. So if it's 33 teraflops of RDNA 3, that's about 16 to 18 of like RDNA 2. And if it's down to 29, then we're looking at 14, which isn't going to be that big of a boost over the Series X at that point. So that's also what I'm kind of interested in figuring out is where they land.
Let's see. We're gonna find out. We're gonna do the math.
I mean, if it's like a substantial jump over the Series X, that 2026 gonna get here real quick. Like they're gonna jump the next gen real quick if that's the case.
That'd be funny.
They can't be out here making multi-plat games that run better on that machine. You know what I mean? Like not like come on. That's a L. It's from a just from a visuals, from a PR standpoint, that is an L. So
yeah.
Imagine if GTA 6 runs on the Pro.
Hey, GTA 6 is coming out 2026. Like I said, if it's substantial, that's Xbox's.
I thought GTA 6 is coming out next year.
No, it got delayed.
Oh.
Wait, it's not confirmed that it got delayed.
Not confirmed, but I'm pretty sure. Like there's enough smoke for me to say that there's.
They make enough money off of GTA Online. They can release the game whenever
that it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm about to say GTA Online.
Like
trying to charge us for private servers, man. Fuck them.
I'm about to say like they make so much money off GTA Online. That game's gonna come out whenever they feel like it. Like there's a check, whatever y'all all gonna buy it whenever they release.
Yep.
Man, I just feel like the announcement, the way that they announced it, it just doesn't show a lot of confidence and a lot of build up.
Yeah, it's not a lot of confidence or care. Like
that's kind of what concerns me the most. And what else would concern me is just the price point. I don't think this is going to be cheap. I think people saying, you know, I think I heard some people say $5.99 to $6.99.
It ain't gonna start with a 5, bro. It is not gonna start with a 5. There's no way.
I think it's.
I mean, if they're just using updated specs on the same chips but just like boost clocks, then I can see it being $5.99.
They've been raising the price of the base PS5 Past
To
couple of years,
550.
they just raised the price of controllers. And I'm in the 749 to 799 camp.
We looking at an $800 machine, bro.
I'm
Let's be if we're being
Yo.
realistic.
Hey,
If
look
we're
at
being realistic, yeah, if we're
Look
being
at-
realistic, bro,
look at how
Not
much
800.
look at how much
$800?
look at how much these handhelds are going for. That's how much the handhelds are going for.
yes, the handhelds are $800.
So why
Wait,
not?
what hand? No, that's like based off of the x86 architecture for running Windows.
Yeah, but
It
these
doesn't matter.
these consumers don't know the difference.
Yes, I mean the chips are not. It's not like you could just take that and just run Windows on a PS5.
I understand that, but I'm saying to the general consumer, when they walk inside Best Buy and see a $700 handheld, they're not seeing all of this, knowledge that you have about these consoles. They just see a $700 handheld and they're walking in and buying it because they can game on the go. PlayStation knows that. They're looking at them like if they're willing to pay, $700 for their console, they'll pay $700 for mine. I'm just telling you.
Well, I mean, they did charge $200 for our streaming handheld.
So
don't
if
put it
Sony
down.
does,
Like I said,
if
they
Sony
did
does
charge
this,
$200
this is
for a
stupid.
tablet.
No, it's not even a tablet. It is a streaming handheld. It can't even run Android.
I don't think they're dropping this Pro to have a quote unquote mass attach rate. I think part of it is an experiment to see how much you'll really pay for some hardware. I think part of it is that.
I swear to God, if it still uses RDNA 2
at 7
and they charge at $799, they can go fuck themselves.
Even $750 is too much, bro. $699 is the most I'm willing to pay for this thing.
$699?
Well, all right.
Yeah.
So another
I got 5.
But listen, you also got to look at this, Zero. Look how much that 2 terabyte edition of the Xbox is going for. That's going for about $600.
$600.
So
$600.
So you're not going so you're not going to tell me
bro.
you're not going to tell me that the PlayStation 5 Pro is going to cost the same amount as a 2 terabyte Xbox Series X. You're not going to tell me
Black Friday's around the corner. Black Friday's around the corner.
You're not
Get a
gonna
4 terabyte SSD. Get a 4 terabyte NVMe 4 drive for like $200.
I'm not disputing any of that, but what I'm saying is from a pricing perspective and what other comparable products are out on the market, you're going to want your PS5 Pro to be a more premium priced product than this new Xbox 2 terabyte edition.
You think you're Apple?
No, that just makes business sense.
Sony does think they're Apple of the East. Yes, they do. Their products are expensive. Their phones are expensive. Their TVs are expensive. A lot more expensive than they should be a lot of times. Their cameras expensive as shit compared to other cameras in the same
in the same categories.
Yeah. So I mean, they are the Apple of the East. They are. I mean, they're not as profitable, but that's what they're basically the Apple of the East. So yeah, I can see that.
So how much do you think the Switch 2 is going to go for?
I think Switch 2 will be in the 400 to 500.
It can't be above 400.
I'm gonna give them 400.
I'm gonna say 400 down pack because they already released that they're using the updated NVIDIA mobile chip. So I was like 400.
They're gonna be cheaper than the PC handhelds, but they're gonna be more expensive than what you would think.
Maybe 450.
I could see 450 after taxes. 450, but yeah, I think it's gonna be $399.
As for the PS5, it's gonna be 600. I think.
There's no way it could be 600.
600.
It's got to be 600, bro. It can't. I guess I'll take back. It's $100 more. I guess makes sense.
You think
it's got to be 6? Bro.
You guys also need to think this. If the Pro gonna be a quote unquote 800, what is the 6 going to be? 1,000? 1,500? Like no,
why not? You gotta think bro. You gotta think about we're paying $1,000 for cell phones. We're paying a lot. We're paying a lot of money for stuff that doesn't provide us the same thing.
And look what happened to all those companies that's charging them $1,000 cell phones.
But also, not at once. Cell phone companies were smart in that they know most people aren't going to buy $1,000 phone outright. You
They
charge
do
them
3-year
Yeah, you-
contracts,
3-year
mandatory contracts.
And what is
Yeah.
and what did Xbox and PlayStation start doing? The 2-year.
Do they do subscription?
Yeah, they do
things?
the 2-year, 3-year thing now. Yeah.
Wait, PlayStation 5 does that?
Yes, you can walk inside of the store and do the PlayStation. You can do it with the PlayStation now too. They're trending towards this.
Yeah, I mean, because it's a way to make hardware affordable. Like my launch Series X was on that damn program because it was like $38 a month.
Yeah,
like it was fine.
Yeah, they're trending towards this. They're trending towards $1,000 consoles. I'm telling you that.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's
Would you not be? Oh no!
Stop fear-mongering and wait till tomorrow.
No, I'm not fear-mongering. That's not a fear-monger. You got handhelds that are literally going for $700 right now.
I mean, but those are pretty. That has RDNA 3 and like some really impressive tech in there.
Your everyday consumer does not
doesn't
care about that. They do not care about that.
Do we even know if the Pro is gonna be RDNA 2 or 3?
We don't.
We don't.
I don't think it's gonna be 3.
Well,
Because
I'm not.
If it's 3, bro, it's not. It's gonna be $800. There's your sign. If it is RDNA 3, we're looking at $800.
I don't care if it's
Like, stop
RDNA.
Oh, my question is this: you as a person, if you want to buy it, what would you want from it? I'm curious.
What I want?
Well, who's
Me
that for?
personally?
For all of us, or
In general, yeah, you guys, people. Would you want it to be RDNA 3 and costing $800, or
Look,
you want it to be
I'm not gonna get into
200
the
RDNA 2 and costing $600?
I'm not gonna get into the tech jargon of it. I'm gonna get into the consumer jargon of it. As a consumer,
Fuck the consumer. The consumer have nothing to do with it. Do you need like remember?
well, you're asking what I want.
Microsoft
I'm a consumer. I'm a person who might purchase it. So as a person who might purchase this
Okay,
device, what I would
did you
want,
buy-
I
Did you
want.
buy the X when it got launched? Not the Series X. I forgot what's called.
I got the One X. I got
One
the One
X?
X.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Because
it was
Okay.
it was so
a
much.
drastic enough leap over the base.
Yeah,
it was drastic.
It was
It-
big
What?
difference.
It cost what? 500?
It was 500 at the time, I believe.
It was
Yeah.
500,
Yeah,
yep.
and the original cost what? 350 or something like that?
No, the original was $400. You got to remember. Actually, the original launched with Connect for $500. Some of us already paid
And then
$500
they
for it. So
remove the Kinect to 400. Okay, so my point is at this. You already bought the Pro for last generation.
Yes. I got the
Did
Pro.
you
I got both
feel
Pros.
ripped off?
I did.
Did
I
you
did get
feel
both
ripped
pros.
off?
I didn't own a 4 for much of the generation. I ended up with a PS4 Pro towards the end of the generation.
No, I'm talking about the Series X, the Xbox version of the Pro, but also the Pro. Like that's what I did.
All right, so
I traded my Pro,
Mm.
my PS4 in, and bought the Pro. Like the people that want to buy the Pro are gonna get the Pro.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
yeah, I agree with that. But as far as going from the VCR Xbox to the Xbox One X, it was such a drastic difference. Especially like when it came to like playing online, like you would load into games faster than people that didn't own a Xbox One X. So like for certain multiplayer games, it would literally give you an advantage because you would already be in the game a couple seconds before someone who owned like a VCR or even a 1S would load into a game. So, like things like that made it worth the purchase at the time.
you gotta know what I just thought about? It's gonna be funny if this console doesn't sell well because motherfuckers are still playing Black Ops 6 on their PlayStation 4s.
It's not meant to sell. I don't think it's meant to sell well. I think it is I don't think they're gonna mass produce millions upon millions upon millions of this thing. I think, maybe 3 to 5 million units they produce the first year at most. And I think it's a test bed to see how much they can get away with selling their console for. I do not think the Pro is going to be the same price as the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X. That doesn't make any sense to me. It just doesn't. So to me, $600 is out the window. You start at $650 at minimum.
Yep.
$650 is the cheapest it'll start at.
Listen,
What if it's
I'm thinking $6.99 digital, $7.99.
I was just thinking. I was just about to say that, Junior. Like, what about disc and digital?
I can see that too. But I'm thinking with the disc, I think the disc version is going to be about $800. So
They just don't make a disc version.
Well, they can. If they don't do a disc version, then it's just. I think it's going to be $749.99.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be shocked if they didn't do a disc version.
I wouldn't either, because they don't want you buying physical no more. It costs too much money to ship all them boxes across, all these different regions and all that other shit. And
Hell, game developers don't even want that.
Yeah, nobody.
And a lot of people aren't buying physical. Like, you can, there are some, but I think a majority of people do want it here and now, real fast.
I think it's 80%. I think it's up to like close to 80% of video game sales are all digital now.
Or just simple things like one of the largest reasons why I do digital often is just because I game share with a friend.
Yeah.
And we aren't close enough where it's just like, oh, here, let me drop this game off to your house.
Yeah. That is it.
Let alone if he was in another country, or anything else like that.
Yeah, buying one copy is buying two copies because you can game share and play the same game at the same time versus you couldn't do that otherwise.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's also a part of it.
650, 700. We'll find out tomorrow.
We're gonna find out tomorrow, but I just want to kind of to get everyone's prices out so that when we come back next week, we could talk about, what the actual price is.
I'm gonna stand firm on my 600. I think
if it's $6.99, bro, if it's $6.99, it is going to die a terrible death. That's all I can say.
Juve, I don't think $6.99 is a terrible death. I think it's a test for the next generation to see how much, how many suckers can get licked. That's it.
This going to cost too much money.
Nobody
now
wants
I'm
to say
concerned about how much the
$700.
Switch 2 gonna cost.
Well, the Switch 2 is not coming out till next year, and I think it's gonna be about a $400 device, $399.
I can see that.
I mean, at max, it's $500. We'll see.
Yeah, it won't go that. The Switch will not go higher than $499. It won't go higher. Than that.
But see, that's actually not like that's wilding. $500? No, bro. Like $400, sure.
Yeah, I think it's a $400 device, but I know for a fact
$399 looks better than $499.
Yeah, sure. I know. But you know what? Nintendo has always been a fan of testing your gangster. Our price is our price.
I mean,
that Switch ain't going on sale not once.
They do need rely on hardware sales though. Other than Sony and Microsoft, their hardware is important to them. So.
Yeah, but they always sell their hardware at a profit also.
Yeah, they do. They don't sell it at a loss.
Yeah, that's why I use some cheap ass chips.
Yeah. So I'm sticking to $399 on the Switch too.
They're literally like, yo, is it good enough to run Mario? Okay, we good.
Like bet, cool.
Like they don't care about no third party devs. Third party devs can figure it out. As long as we can run our stuff, we good.
That's true. They stuck to their guns. I have to give the Switch one thing. They make the best games run on the crappiest hardware.
Yeah.
And like I said, they looking like, bro, if I can do it, you can do it. Get to work.
Yep.
That is what they do. So let's see. Let's jump into our next topic. I think we hit this PlayStation Pro thing on the head. Now, an unfortunate topic that we have to jump into, kind of hard to be dismissive of, is the death of Concord. Yes, the death of Concord, which is so unfortunate. This game just launched a little more than 2 weeks ago, and sometime last week we got the unfortunate announcement that they are going to be shutting down the game and issuing every person who purchased the game a refund, and for people who bought it physically to go to their retailer and see what that process would be at that at that particular retailer. I think this might be the fastest death of a live service game we've ever seen, especially in the quote unquote AAA space.
Mm-hmm.
This is wild, especially considering that they just like purchased the studio. They just didn't give it any time to gain any traction or catch any type of legs. Like they could have done free play weekends. There's so many things they could have done to give the game some type of hope. It's just wild that it died so fast. You know, when it comes to these topics that are platform specific, I always like to go to the person who reps the platform the hardest. So I'm gonna go to Omar here and his thoughts on Concord and its swift end. What are your thoughts here, Omar?
No, first of all, too bad Kofi is not here. I would have wanted to hear his opinion. As
Yeah.
for me, I need to put a disclaimer because it's important to do so when you come to this topic. I haven't played Concord. I haven't touched Concord. So everything is going to be all about the reception of it and also most importantly what it did, how it did. And for that I'm gonna say, hey, no. So it's a two thing dilemma, right? You have on one hand PlayStation handled swiftly and saw that Concord didn't sell well, didn't do well, and they have it die 1,000 deaths, quick and easy. It can be perceived in two ways, and trust me, I've thought about it for the longest now. It can be perceived as a good thing that PlayStation knows what's doing when it comes to killing something that's not working and preventing the loss of money, but it can also be perceived as the PlayStation absolutely don't know what it's doing, and it also shows other developers if you don't put out an amazing game day one, especially game of life service, there's a big chance we're gonna kill it. So be prepared. And in my opinion, I have never been a fan of this whole game of life service situation. I understand why they're doing it, but still, I'm not a fan of it whatsoever. Do I think it's needed? Sadly, because of Call of Duty being no longer PlayStation the way it used to be. Yeah. But do I think they're gonna succeed day one? Absolutely not. Even a game like Helldivers 2 that did do well, it it's no longer doing what it used to do, and it just goes to show that live service is iffy as fuck, especially when you are actively trying to take away gamers from a different live service to make it your own. And if you don't do a great job at it, you're gonna end up with games like Anthem that tries to survive only for it up to end up dying, or any name drop any other live service game that first is released for price, then goes to free to play, and then it dies. With Concord, I'm actually not sure if they're gonna go free to play or not. I'm interested to see if they are going to free to play with it or not. Because yes, they refunded everyone money, but that's about it. They could go back to the drawing board. Um, Beside players, if you ask my opinion, what I think killed Concord, I don't think it's the gameplay. From the people that I've seen, they were enjoying the gameplay loop. They were loving it. In my opinion, it's being full price. I think it did them dirty, and apparently their business model couldn't be done unless it's full price. And the other thing that I would say is, it's the character design, dude. It's just not appealing. If that's not appealing to you, you do you. But there is a reason people spend 2 to 3 hours in Baldur's Gate or in Demon Souls to just look that good.
Hey,
And mind you,
First Ascendant. First Ascendant was all
Yeah.
about looks.
yeah, and mind you, it's not like I want all characters to be like First Ascendant. If you have diversity, and I'm not talking about ethnicity, I'm more talking about character design. Like one character design like this, look like this, and the other character design look a lot like First Descendant. Then you have whatchamacallit, you incite people to try different characters and see what you like and what you don't like. But when you're stuck with all the characters that just simply don't look appealing, even if it's a first-person game, you still want to be representing your character.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the main reasons why I died. Because one failed, and also because it's the character, the design, dude. Do I think it is gloom and doom for PlayStation? I actually don't know. And the reason why I don't know is because I want for it to be gloom and doom. I want this whole live service shit to be done and dusted. Like I have always said from the beginning, I am not a fan of it, nor will I ever be a fan of it. It's frustrating that they even started it, but we're here right now. But yeah,
Okay.
it makes you just question fair game and
Marathon.
marathon. Are they next?
Um,
That's the question.
I think they
I
are
mean,
next.
I have zero faith in them. After how they obliterated Helldivers 2, I don't think they have it in them. And for the people that think what's happening with Helldivers 2, basically they nerfed every single thing that made it cool. What I mean by that is um they just removed the fun out of the game. They just want it to be hard. That's it. And it's sad because this is a single player game. Well, it's a multiplayer game, but it's not PvP. So you shouldn't be needing to nerfing stuff like that. But they did it, and we're right here, and here we are right now. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay.
I'm not sad that Concord died. It's just like I would always say, vote with your wallet.
Yeah.
You want something, support it. You don't want something, you don't support it. It's just how it is. And people that think, okay, just because it's PlayStation, you should support it. Absolutely not. Like that makes no sense for multiple reasons. Like I am not a fan of Gran Turismo. That doesn't mean I should support Gran Turismo. And that's how it should be. But hey,
Okay.
it's I will always say how said it. PlayStation made history in 1 week in two ways. One with Astrobot and with Concord, and
Okay.
that's about it.
All right. All right. I'm gonna throw this over to no. I'm gonna throw it over to Zero. Zero. Death of Concord. What are your thoughts here?
I think it's pretty sad. I played Concord the beta, and it was perfectly serviceable as a FPS or just as a shooter. Um, I didn't have any particular issues with it overall. I don't lean on the side of most people. I don't find the cast of characters not appealing. Some aren't. But like was it Kips who was the dripped out robot in the suit? And One Off, the giant uh basically trash compactor. Like I thought those were really, really cool. I don't know. I don't really know what people weren't necessarily liking about the design. Heard a lot of people say like maybe it's a little too Guardians of the Galaxy. So maybe it lacks some level of charm.
I don't think they like the obese characters and things like that. They wanted like
Yeah,
characters that were a
I
little
mean,
bit more appealing.
but
it was.
I think that's a weak. I mean, an argument's an argument, sure. I just kind of think that's a weak argument because I don't know, man.
I don't
Like,
think at this point it's an argument. It's just a result at this point because everything's.
I mean,
and I guess you're right, right? Like, because if it wasn't the case and Concord would still be around, I find that to be a pretty poor reason. There's a lot of reasons I think realistically Concord failed, if you will. First and foremost being that it didn't necessarily do anything that different or interesting than anything that's already out here.
Well-
And I think a large part of any shooter, particularly that's coming out now, is always the question: how do you take me away from the shooter that I'm already playing? So, how do you take me away from Call of Duty, Destiny, Apex, Fortnite, Rainbow Six, any of these games? How do you make me stop playing them and play yours?
Yeah.
And I think Concord was serviceable enough, but it didn't do anything special or interesting that made me want to say I should pick this up, as opposed to when I played the Black Ops 6 beta. I said this feels very different from Call of Duty that I'm used to. I'd like to play this now. This might be my new shooter going forward because Destiny's going away. So I think that's a large part of the challenge with Concord, outside of everybody's outward appearances of it. Like I think once you play it, because the people who tend to play it tend to like it.
Yeah.
Like I don't hear a lot of comments about like this is a bad game. I hear a lot of comments that I don't like how the characters look. It's woke, blah blah blah. And it didn't do the numbers that Sony wanted it to do. Shocking that they would just pull it. And the $40 price tag didn't help.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't.
Because like a lot of these games that once again that you got to pull me away from cost me no money. Even Overwatch, for all this nonsense, cost me no money.
Well, I mean, they do cost you money. You just download
do
it.
you
first.
know what?
You download
It
then.
It got not for the base game. I mean,
Yeah.
right now, Overwatch 2 is sitting at 34,000 players concurrent as of right now.
Yeah.
And people supposed to hate Overwatch 2. We all collectively were like, this game sucks. And yet they got 34,000 players. So that's what I mean by like Concord. How are you supposed to take me away from the game that I don't even like, but I'm still playing it?
Yeah.
So like it's tough, man. Like I'm sure the devs worked hard on it. So I feel bad for them because it's tough to put yourself out there and then people say like it's a resound voice saying your effort was worthless or it hurt, it was bad or you should feel bad and this is why you deserve this. I hope Concord can come back in some way. Free to play seems to be the initial thing. I don't really know what it can do though, like outside of a whole change of like, okay, we've changed all of our characters, because if that's the major thing that people have an issue with, then Concord can really never come back, right? Like, but
I
making a whole character takes time.
I don't think they're bringing that game back to the free to play zero. I think
So
once
you
you
really,
I think once you shut it down, you shut it down. They could have done free to play weekends from now to the new year, and that would have been better than shutting the game down.
I
Like
disagree.
even a game that has a lot of users like Madden and 2K, they do free to play weekends where you can just download the game and just play it. Like, and that's how they slowly grow their base, and they didn't even try to do something as simple as that. For like their PS Plus members, Concord is free to play this weekend.
Yeah,
Hop on with a free. I
yeah,
mean, there's so much they could have done.
yeah. There's a lot of realm. I don't know, man. It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like, and I just refuse to buy into the whole sort of quote unquote woke aspect of it. I can accept that I don't like how these characters.
I mean,
That's
you
I
got
think that's
the
fair
you got the
criticism.
Sweet Baby Inc. anti Sweet Baby Inc. or whatever they're called, Warriors.
Yeah,
But the word woke is now a term that is getting abused and has lost its original meaning.
yeah. And of course, you can't see me. Every time I say it, I'm air quotes here.
Yeah.
But like, I still don't think they're much of a factor in the failure of this game. Because I still think it's fair to say that, because there are some characters who I don't like in this game.
Yeah.
I don't like their design at all. But most of them are fine to good.
Yeah.
I think there's only like 3 that are just like,
But
I'm not feeling this one.
social media is a motherfucker, man. And a lot of the characters that people really didn't like are the ones that were popular to be shown on.
Yes, and which is effectively what was Daw and Amari.
And the trailer for the game, neither trailer showed the game in the best light. When they finally did the gameplay reveal, you got more cinematics than you did actual game, it felt like, at the time. So I think that kind of made it tough as well. I think the characters that I seen in the game on social media versus what I saw in the trailer were not representative of each other. So I felt like I saw different characters in the trailer than what I got in the game. I didn't play the game myself. I'm just saying from an outsider's perspective of like, why am I gonna try this game if I'm seeing all these things? So I think it's a couple different things that I think impacted the game when it comes to character design. And before I jump to the next person, I've done a horrible job of looking at the chat today. Want to thank Razor Ultron for coming through. And he's highlighting that, when you have alternatives that have characters that you actually like, that kind of helps in determining your choice, as well as, it didn't do the number Sony wanted. Of course, we heard like 25,000 in sales. And then, it probably is a tax write-off for Sony. So yeah, definitely. All of those things are probably true in regards to this title. I'm gonna, before I give my thoughts, I'm gonna throw it over. Let me throw it over to Jubei. Maybe the baby's calmed down. Jubei, what are your thoughts on the whole Concord situation?
When you said that there was a lot that they could have did,
yeah,
I was 100% agreeing with you. Like, they could have did any number of things. Like, they didn't have the player numbers, free to play weekend for PS Plus. Like, there's so many things.
Yeah.
That's where you start. Maybe giving your consumers.
Appreciate you.
That was like, skins or whatever the fact, but it's sad to see. They honestly, if this game came out in 2022, we wouldn't be talking, because it probably wouldn't have got shut down.
I don't know. And the reason I don't know that is just because PlayStation's core fan base just doesn't seem to have an appetite for those type of games.
I mean, but
When I say
still-
PlayStation core fan base, I mean the people that support PlayStation first party. That's
Yeah. I just feel like it still would have did better had it come out earlier.
possibly, but it'd probably still be dead today.
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
years
it sucks, but that's a really competitive space with huge heavy hitters on the I guess the leaders for that. They can't really compete with Fortnite's, the Apex's, the Overwatch. They just don't have the audience.
Okay.
The beta showed them that.
Yeah. All right, and I'm gonna get Nappy's opinion, final panel members' opinion before I get my own. Nappy, what are your thoughts on this whole Concord death, quickest live service game to die, I think, ever?
Just like some of the other panel members have said, I have never seen a game die so quickly in 1 week. This is
12
definitely
days. 12 days is.
I'm sorry, 12 days.
Was the official lifespan of Concord.
12 days the game shut down. It definitely is like an eye opener, like crazy that they will pull a game just as so quick as it came. Like, goddamn, even Anthem put up a fight before it shut down.
Anthem had a pretty decent player base for a good amount of time.
At the beginning, yeah, until all the bugs and stuff and people just left.
It didn't die right away.
Fall Guys, it has went free to play and it's still on. Like that's a game that you have to pay for that went free to play later on. And today it's sitting at 1,400 players. I'm looking at games like Knockout City, which was a paid game, then went free to play. That is surprisingly sitting at 9,682 players. They just had a really big uptick in players. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. But yeah, it's just like I'm not sure how strong the media it is when it came to all the with all of the drama going around in Concord, because not only have I heard this in like the movies things, I've been hearing this now in our video games with they're making this game woke and the woke people are destroying this game or not. I didn't think that would be the reason why Concord would fail. If it's truly that, then goddamn, that's sad.
Yeah,
like the gameplay wasn't that bad for it. And
character design.
I mean, the Sierra designs weren't the best, but it wasn't like enough for me, like where I look at the screen, I immediately like throw up or I want to punch my screen or something. I mean, the characters were ugly, whatever. They're not attractive women. Not everyone has like first descended bunny cheeks.
There are games, multiplayer games that do have like ugly characters, and it's a part of design of it. It's not like every game has like these drop dead gorgeous characters. Sometimes it's literally part of the art style for the characters to look, quote unquote, kind of ugly.
And that's how I looked at it. Like Warhammer 40K Dark Tides, for example. You have these ugly ass like orcish giant characters, and everyone seems to love it because the game's like a dark, like crazy, like apocalyptic world, where it's a 4-player like Left 4 Dead type like game. I honestly, the designs of the characters, I don't think would be nowhere near enough to kill a game. If it is, I'm clearly out of touch at this point.
I don't think you're clearly out of touch, but I think it played a factor in it when everyone else didn't want the game already. They just needed a reason not to give it a shot.
Yeah. Oh, Anthem still has 3,000. Damn. Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Fans.
That's it. Anthem is, it's not the best, but it's still got a little bit of.
It had potential. That's a good sound. That had a good sound foundation. It just nobody wants to stick to it. But the thing about it is like like I said, you guys already said it could have free to play weekends. Could have made it free to play. Could have like did like a sale. Could have done so much, but Sony just pulled the plug, and I'm thinking like, why would they pull the plug so heavy on this game? Like could it be a tax write-off? I know that you can write it off as a tax write-off for a company that's operating at a loss. So like, I felt like the plug got pulled way too soon. Heck, like Gotham, like literally, Suicide Squad still up and running.
Yeah,
and people said that game was a mess. I mean, the Star Wars game is a
Skull and
Bones
game. That launched terribly.
Skull and Bones, yeah. People just say play Assassin's Creed 4. It's literally Assassin's Creed Black Flag without the assassin.
What was that Rainbow Six game that launched terribly? There was a Rainbow Six that launched badly too, like 3 years ago.
Siege?
Oh, was it Siege? No, because I thought everyone went back to Rainbow
Extraction launched terribly.
Extraction.
Rainbow Six Extraction launched terribly, and everyone just went back to Siege, which was hilarious. But
yeah,
I mean, it's just I don't know. It's just like you guys could have went to the drawing board and like done something like, or was this company, because this was like what 10 years in development? Did you guys not have a penny to lose? Like y'all could have put a little bit more effort into it. I mean, don't be wrong. I was surprised to see that Overwatch is going like 30,000 strong on Steam. Like that's actually really impressive for Overwatch 2, because I don't like Overwatch 2 as much. Maybe I should get back into it. Something changed probably, but
I told you I told you the day that Microsoft purchased them, they're going to get rid of a lot of the stuff that people hated about it. As far as like their monetization practices, I told you it was going to change. It was just a matter if it was going to be for the better or worse. But Xbox was going to do an effort. Microsoft's going to do their effort to kind of get that game back to where it needed to be.
Yeah,
that's what I said. I said that was going to be one of the first things they did was get that game kind of.
I got you. It's like, but overall, it's just sad to see a game lose support so quickly. I mean, again, everyone voted for their wallets. The game was not breaking 1,000 concurrent players at launch. As a matter of fact, when I looked at Steam,
I mean,
there has been this joke about the stubborn 7 people that still have this game running. It's been like this for the past 3 days. We don't know who these 7 people are.
They all work at Sony.
But they refuse to close out that Concord application because the servers are not even up and running. So how the hell are they still in the game? We don't know, but they're probably trying to make a voice. Who knows?
They work there.
Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just very curious because you maybe I had forgotten all about Suicide Squad, which in recent memory has to be the only other game that's had a worse reception than Concord. Like that game was hated.
Reception is one thing. It's still sold decently.
Well, that's part of my question, because like again, that game was almost universally panned the moment we saw it. Before it even came out, it was like once we learned it was live service, once we learned that like the Justice League die, once we learned that Batman gets killed and beaten in the head, like everyone was thumbs down on this game. Yet as it stands, this game exists currently to today. I'm just curious. I wonder why is there such a different like reception to Concord versus Suicide Squad? Where Suicide Squad probably seems to be far more hated than Concord was.
I think it's because how snel it died. That's why. Sorry. I talk Dutch. I think it's because of how quick it died.
Well, that's my thing. My thing is, why did Suicide Squad seem to last longer than Concord?
I mean, Suicide Squad in and of itself isn't a terrible game.
It's not.
But I think it.
Terrible.
I think
Concord's not that terrible either.
Concord is user.
But compared to other hero shooters, it does nothing. Like you're charging us $40 for something we're already getting for free from Overwatch and other things.
We gotta dive back into Overwatch 2. What the hell is Overwatch 2 offering? Or that's the only way we can tell at this point.
But to Zero's question, I would say that the reason Suicide Squad probably is lasting a little bit longer is because people are DC stans and
It's
they
Yep.
and they're still supporting it. So
Yep.
um
It had
the
more than 1,000. It had more than 1,000 concurrent players. I'll tell you that.
the IP the strength of the IP is what is kind of keeping that game alive, and I think WB believes in the strength of the IP can kind of save the live service component of it if they continue to improve the game. So that's
I just look at the Steam charts. This thing is sitting at 76 concurrent players. Holy shit!
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad's at 76 players on Steam.
I believe the game is on its way out soon.
Yeah.
Because I think Nora Freeze is the last
Now
person.
I
don't think
wonder
they're gonna get
because
anybody else.
I wonder if the Game Pass bag can kind of help it out, because I mean it helped out Gotham Knight.
Slightly, not by much.
Question for the panel from Yobi. Do you want to see more villains get shine as the main characters of their own game? Would you love to see DC villains and villains from Star Wars as well and Marvel? Me personally, I would like to see more villain games, but I feel the one thing that kind of stops villain games from doing what I would like them to do, if they were to make them, is that the stigma that is associated with video games doesn't allow you like to really dive into that dark territory with some of these characters. It's just because like the ESRB and all that other stuff. Because you got some really like dark villains in the DC and Marvel space, and you wouldn't get away with half the stuff they did in a video game. So I think that would kind of hurt it, but I would like to see it.
I mean, I certainly would. I thought Justice League was the Suicide Squad was the right step.
Yeah.
That both Marvel, DC, and a variety of other any properties really have a whole host of villains that you can utilize that are really interesting.
Yeah.
And my only real complaint about Suicide Squad is that it's a comic book game, so like that's how comic books operate. But like they were never going to commit to the premise of like we kill the Justice League.
But even so, even when they killed Batman, people lost their mind because this is too dark for us. Like no, they're the villains. It's their story.
Their problem specifically with Batman was because it was Arkham's Batman, so people were really tied to that character. Like, because no one really cared when Green Lantern died, or Flash for that matter.
So somebody peed on one of them and people lost their mind. Like
what's his name? Peed right on Flash, even though Flash saved him at the beginning.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is like that. This is an Elseworlds tale anyway. Like this isn't the Justice League. I think everybody already figured out the Justice League who we kill is not the quote unquote true Justice.
But my thing is, you can't be mad when a villain is a villain. They're supposed to be doing this shit.
I think they wanted Batman to put up more of a fight because the way he lost, it was not. I want to say it's not the fact that Batman died; it's just how he died.
He didn't have prep time. Deal with it.
What do you mean? He already knew that the motherfuckers were after him.
He didn't have prep time. He didn't have prep time.
He literally fought. No. The rule is, when you run into Batman for the very first time, you need to kill him. You do not let him run away. He will come back with prep time and kill you. Oh. And then guess what Suicide Squad did? He came. They let him. Well, actually, no. They got their asses whooped in that haunted.
They whooped their ass.
Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, he didn't even need. He already had prep time before the prep time.
He didn't have enough.
He used what Scarecrow's like evil gas for the crazy boss. Like the boss wasn't like the way how Batman went out. I think it was more so the way how Batman went out. He should have went out gadgets throwing, guns blazing, blowing up his goddamn Batmobile as a last resort before like go out like in like Guns Glory or something.
But to be fair, I think that's part of the problem because what we want is for our hero to die in a, blaze of glory. But this isn't our hero's game. we're coming from the perspective of the villain. So maybe we should be rooting for them, but like we should be rooting for our player character, who is the villain. So it's like I don't know how you marry the two. And some of it might just be difficult because it's well established characters. If you make your own thing, then you can do whatever you want to, right? Like we always
go
want to see
against the
Batman.
canon.
Yeah, we always want to see Batman go out in glory. But if I'm playing as the villain, his glory shouldn't matter to us.
Yeah, exactly.
We just want him dead.
Exactly.
I think I remember this conversation. I remember with The Last of Us 2 when no spoilers for The Last of Us 2 for the people who haven't played it. 3, 2, 1. When Joel got killed, people were up in arms about how he got killed. Despite the fact he went out like a badass, people still didn't see it like a badass move. The death of our beloved characters hit hard for a lot of people. And a lot of them think this is how we played. I say we. I mean the people that beat Arkham Knight, Arkham Origin, you name it. Like we know how badass Batman is because we played as him. Same how Joel is badass because we played as him. But at the end of the day, did the people forget the amount of time we reloaded a save file because we got killed in the game? That's just all it is. When you die, you get killed. You get killed. There is no glory in death. There is no death being made epic. Like death is just a death in an instant. You die. You don't dictate how you're going to die. You just die. You're at the mercy of the villain at this point.
Yeah.
And that I think people have a lot of issue with.
Oh, did we lose you?
Did we lose him?
Oh
I
man.
think we.
He was cooking. I agree with everything he was saying.
Yeah. I think we lost Omar for a second. So I'm gonna jump back to
Oh, you guys can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, that's about it. It's just frustrating to say this character didn't die well, this character didn't die well. I understand where they're coming from, but it's just gonna happen. And we can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do think the execution matters a little bit, though. I mean, if we're gonna talk about there, like the way how the character dies should. I know they say as a villain, like you shouldn't care how the person dies; he just needs to die. But I understand, like we saying, like, but no, you're a superhero; you could do anything. You're not supposed to fall like this.
Yeah, I think
it's a hard thing to sell. But sometimes it still just doesn't sell well. Even you still have somewhat of a higher standard.
Okay, you played Borderlands 3, right?
Yes.
Now, spoiler for the people that haven't played Borderlands 3. One of the worst deaths, in my opinion, Maya. Maya death felt unnecessary, felt forced. She is a master siren. She could have easily dodged, but she died. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, it absolutely sucked. Trust me. I was pissed as fuck at Maya's death. But at the end of the day, hey, the villain killed her.
I mean, for that though, that death did contribute to something that made the enemies discovered that hey, I can't just take powers from my sister. I can also take powers from other sirens. Like it was kind of that was a very unfortunate death, but it was kind of an unsuspected and acceptable thing compared to like Batman.
Not me, it's not acceptable. Nobody accepted it.
No, I mean it. I know people were pissed off about it, but I think people can accept it the way it happened because it did reveal that the brother can absorb powers from other sirens compared just besides his sister. Like we didn't know that. That's how we learned that.
In my opinion, they killed her off just because they want you to play as Ava. They want Ava to be the main character.
I mean, well, I want to say I don't know. I want to say that actually. I mean, we already had our siren, so I mean, we even when we play Borderlands 2, you can't play as a Border 1 a siren, so I don't know. I wouldn't say that. It was just I think it sucks that they rated off as they killed her, but it was more so like I was able to accept it better because of okay, this was a catch-22. It made sense. It made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna spin it back over to Concord. Concord, 'cause I wasn't able to give my opinion on that. That was a good little tangent on villainry in video games. But as far as Concord dying in 12 days, this is unfortunately I feel like this is a bullet that Sony should have just bit. Because now what it does to all the future live service games is I don't think it gives them a shot in hell, because as a consumer, how can I trust that this game is even going to be around, you know, for 3 to 6 months after I purchase it? Like what if all right, let's say Fair Games comes out and it lives long enough that they don't have to refund you your money. But it does bad, it does bad enough that they don't keep it around, but it stays out long enough that they don't have to refund you your money. Like, that's kind of possible. Like, now that we've seen what they did with Concord, right? So I think that's the biggest thing that's a takeaway for me. Like, as a consumer, how can I trust your live service initiative push that you're actually going to support your live service games? It's just, I don't know. I think that move was a death nail to the live service push. That was my thoughts on that. And with that, we will close out the Concord topic. RIP Concord. You had a strong 12 days, September 6th. You will never be forgotten. At least your controllers will live on. Sure, Nappy had one.
I don't know about strong, but it existed. Yep,
it existed.
It did.
Hey.
It did.
Hey, there are more tweets and more conversation around this dead game than a lot of your favorite games ever.
You're not wrong.
It lives. It will live on forever in infamy.
That's the biggest live service flop in history. You cannot beat a dead live game dying in 12 days. If you can, please don't. Please don't.
Better to be known for something than be known for nothing.
The fact that shitty ass Crossfire X lasted longer than this damn game. It's sad.
It just shows the commitment from the publisher. That's all. The game there's no reason to get the game died that fast. There's just no reason at all. Not that fast. I mean, I understand the game dying, but 12 days, that like you pay for server space, what, 30 days at a time? So you already paid for the servers. So now you got 18 days. You got 18 days of servers that's just not being used now, or you got to reallocate it to something else.
That's what those 7 players are. They're waiting for the servers to die. Yeah, it's a way of protest, not closing out Concord.
Yeah. So I mean,
hilarious.
It's crazy. But yeah, let's jump into our final topic. A real PlayStation heavy show, but we also got an announcement last week. I know that this was kind of a big topic back in July, when people thought that Xbox would not be at Tokyo Game Show. But they did recently announce that they are going to be appearing at Tokyo Game Show. I believe that is September 23rd.
Yep.
Is when they'll be doing their show. And the rumors are circulating around it. That we're gonna see some pretty big titles get announced that are coming to Xbox out of Japan. I think most notably, I think people are expecting some Final Fantasies to get announced. I think Jez Corden, he has his own podcast with Randall Thor, and he was saying that he thinks it's gonna be, I think, 16 and pixel remaster at first, but he expects everything to end up making its way over at some point in time. So yeah, we're getting. I mean, it's good to see that Xbox is gonna be at the show, even beyond the potential of getting a Final Fantasy, because we were being led by the media to believe that Xbox was abandoning the Asia region and just focusing on Europe and America. So it's good to see that that's not the case and that they're still going to be present in that region. So I am going to kick this topic off with I think he's reclaimed his title of Captain Xbox. I'm not 100% sure. That Gamescom situation may have, wavered him again. But Jubei, what are your thoughts on Xbox showing up at Tokyo Game Show again for another year? Oh, do I got Jubei? Going once.
Going once, going
Twice. All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. I'm gonna go to my substitute bot, PCMR. Nappy, how are you feeling about Xbox showing up to the Tokyo Game Show for another year?
It looks like to me that they want to spread their Western games over to the Eastern audience.
Cross pollination.
Yep. I'm not sure exactly what Xbox is going to show off or what projects they've been working on. Maybe we might see another look into Gears of War E-Day. That would be something cool.
That's a little
Too
soon.
early.
I mean,
it's a little soon.
like
I
just
think too early.
I mean, it is a little soon, but like just for the Eastern audience,
yeah.
like us Western people, we saw the thing and we're like, oh my god. And but for like the Eastern audience, they're probably like, what is this? Gears?
If it's
The
for
hell?
the Eastern audience, then it's gonna be the same, trailer.
I think Towerborn would probably be the biggest thing to the Eastern audience.
Mm-hmm.
Towerborn was actually would be cool. But I mean, I'm happy to see that they're going to be part of the Tokyo Game Show. I just don't know exactly like what Xbox is planning on showing off to their audience to make them want to like get the Eastern audience to buy Xboxes or subscribe to Game Pass for that motion. I don't think they're gonna if they did
anything other than that, they have more Japanese games, that they signed on more Japanese games to come to the platform.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I know this one's going to be like a far left, but if they were to actually show off their so-called mobile app that they've been working on for like the mobile-ish store, I know that will probably go really big in Japan because Japan, for some reason, loves their mobile gaming. Hence why Nintendo Switch and the Sony PSP Vita, and actually Sony PSP Vita is still doing well in Japan, which is
it does
shocking. Like if they launch some crazy mobile platform. Their mobile platform that they hinted towards working on.
Well, it was actually supposed to launch in July, and it didn't, and they've been quiet ever since. So something went wrong.
They have
something went wrong there, or some hiccups along the way.
Yeah, so like I said, I honestly I don't know what to expect from Xbox, or maybe this just going to be them like saying, "Hey, Monster Hunter Wild's coming out in January. You should play on the Xbox because the Xbox is the best place to play it compared to Sony." Man, that's all I can think of.
Okay. All right. So let's throw this back to Captain Xbox and see if he's ready to catch it this time. Pause. Jubei, what are your thoughts on Xbox showing up the Tokyo Game Show for another year?
Just give me the pixel remaster. We good. They don't have to show me anything else. I just want that.
Okay, so you want the Pixel remaster. Nothing else. Nothing else. I mean, you were mad about them damn Capcom games for a minute, so
I am. I'm so mad about them damn Capcom games. This is also a chance for them to announce that, hey, it's just coming in 2025, albeit late.
okay. All right. So nothing in particular you want from the East Side other than the Pixel remaster.
Yep. I want to be able to play Final Fantasy VI on the Xbox.
No
That's it.
East,
That's it.
no Trails of Cold Steel,
Mm-mm.
no Star Ocean. I know we missed out on Star Ocean. I'm trying to think about something.
Yeah, I don't think East or Cold Steel coming. Because Falcom commented about that. And they're just dedicated to PlayStation, Switch, Nintendo, and PC.
Hey,
Yep.
you never know. Never know when
Maybe
You never
get
know.
him.
Yeah, I
Maybe get him
agree.
to come
You
to
never
PC
know.
Game Pass.
Yeah.
If they can
Hey,
come
I
to
got a
PC Game Pass, I'd be happy with that.
question. I just realized something. Nobody's talking about the game Flintlock that recently released.
Oh, because it's trash.
Which one?
It
No, it's not
is.
Yeah,
trash. It's not trash, but
it's
it
in
ain't
Game
great.
Pass.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't great.
Flintlock is okay. Like it's a game you played it.
It's not trash.
Because
No,
what's
it's absolutely no. It's not trash. Absolutely not.
what's the other game that came out? Deadlock or something?
So you have
Flintlock.
Flintlock, and then you had that Dungeons of Hinterberg, which is actually pretty good.
Dungeon of
it's something
Winterberg
else.
is amazing.
Yeah.
I can't say enough good words about it.
Yeah, it's Deadlock.
Great.
Deadlock seems to be the new hype game.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that particular one.
It's a hero shooter.
Okay.
A hero. Oh no, I thought it was more like League of Legends.
I guess it is more
with
like
guns.
FPS. Yeah, it's more like FPS League of Legends or third person League of Legends with guns. You're right.
Okay. And so yeah, Jubei's real short. He doesn't want much from Japan. He's a Western gamer through and through.
I'm not. It's not even that I'm a Western guy. I love Japanese games, but it's like it's all catch up. I've either already bought these games or I'm
So you
boycotting
don't
buying these
want
games until they come to my platform.
you don't want the game from level 5 that turn-based JRPG?
Which one?
The one with the police anime police game. Look at
The one that was on the Switch.
Yeah, it's on the Switch and PC. I didn't know it was on
PC and
Xbox.
PlayStation.
Eternauts.
I
That's
don't.
what it's called, I think.
Yeah,
I don't need it. I'm good.
No, I'm
That's
not
just big.
talking about. I'm not talking about what you call it, Astral Chain. No, that's a different game from a different developer. This is from level 5.
As far as I'm concerned,
It's like that anime looking one with the cop character. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm about to say
I'm gonna look up the name right now.
Level 5 still owes me that MMO. Fucking bastard.
No,
Wait,
it's not MMO.
I think is it? I think I know what you're talking about. Was it the same people? No, they said it was basically the similar thing to the same people that created like God dang it, Persona 5 and stuff.
Oh, that's not level
people were
5.
saying.
That's Atlas.
That's Atlas. Never mind.
I know you're gonna see. I know you'll probably see Metaphor at this event.
No.
Metaphor comes out. Metaphor comes out like 3 weeks after the event. It's definitely gonna be at Tokyo Game Show, and they own the marketing rights to it.
No,
It's
I
definitely gonna be there.
said I was not talking about Metaphor.
Oh,
Metaphor. My
I
bad.
said that one's definitely gonna be there.
Is it the level 5 game is Deca Police?
Yeah, Deca Police.
Yeah,
Deca
I'm
Police,
good.
I'm
good.
Yeah. Level 5 still owes
I don't
me an
need it.
MMO. They still owe me True Fantasy Live Online. They owe me that. Bastard. That game looked so good at the time. I think that was like, what, 360 era that was supposed to come out? Free bitch, AEC Vic. What's up? Oh, man, that's a good name. Zero, what are your thoughts on Xbox showing up to the Tokyo Game Show for another year? I think it's been like the past 5 years they've been there at least.
Yeah, man. I mean, I keep it short and sweet. I think it's cool. Like the more Japanese games that get on Xbox, the more space that they have. You said that they've been here the past 5 years or haven't?
They have. I remember.
they have.
I remember for sure the past 3 shows they've been there. I know that for a fact, but I think it's been 5 years.
Oh,
sure.
then I guess it's not that surprising then, right? Like this is where they usually show up.
Because I think last year, I think the biggest game they got last year was the Nino Kuni games. I think those were like the biggest Japanese game they got.
I mean,
besides Persona, of course.
Ni no Kuni is great.
one might assume that with all the hype around Black Myth Wukong and whatever China may or may not be doing coming next, that Xbox would be smart to pay a little bit more attention over to the East to see what's going on over there.
Yeah.
Maybe they can get their own
Absolutely.
version of it.
Celebrate the next game that's coming from China that's going to PlayStation. The one with the samurai sword, like that shit looks fantastic.
Yeah. I
They
mean,
absolutely should invest in the East.
I'm not
Like that.
I'm not advocating for Microsoft to keep on spending. But unless they actually have a footprint in the area, a large footprint, it's hard to keep an eye on everything that's going on somewhere that you're not actually there. You're there pretty much as a satellite or a proxy at best. So it kind of makes it tough. They need to either open up something down there, like or something, so that they can just have a stronger presence there. You know, they just.
I mean, I think it
Hard to
would go a long way if you can help a studio get something made.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, but you know, what is it? Omar just highlighted that they helped with Kasuni Path to the Goddess. They help with games, but I just think they just
They
need.
fund it. They helped fund it.
Yeah, but they need a larger physical boots on
Not only
ground
that, they should
presence
have
there.
they should have made Kusumi time exclusive or full blown exclusive. Now that would have been a smart move.
Well, Xbox
That's
is
not
getting away
Xbox.
from it from
Yeah.
exclusives, especially when it comes to third party. They're getting away from that, and I
Yeah,
think
especially with them putting the game on PlayStation. I get that.
I
But
think it's
mean,
more beneficial to them and their partners that they don't make the game a full exclusive, because it just allows that publisher and that developer to get their game to the maximum reach in those opening day sales, and I think it's better for the third party person that the way that Microsoft does it. I think it's better for them, the third person. So I'm cool with it. But since you're already talking and you're the last person to be asked, what are your thoughts on Xbox at Tokyo Game Show?
according to them, if I was Xbox, I would be asking what's up with the police game and if I can have it. It's like, why only get Ni no Kuni when you get all the other games?
I mean, I agree. Get every
Don't you want to be invested like that?
get every game
At
you
least
can.
that's how I would be.
Yeah, I would get every game I can get.
But,
Now,
yeah,
if it's coming from Xbox directly, I would, maybe a remaster of Blue Dragon would be appropriate around this time.
apparently that's never gonna happen according to Phil.
It doesn't have to be a remake. It could be a remaster. You don't need anybody to do a remaster.
Hey, the more the merrier. I never
You can still play it. You can
Lost
still.
Odyssey,
I think you can still buy
love
it.
to play them on PC.
Yeah.
Wait, you're batting heavy.
I'm botting.
Anyone?
No, I was saying I think you can still get the game. I think you can still get Blue Dragon.
Unless it's on Xbox, I can't on PC.
Yeah, I think it is Xbox only because it was an Xbox 360 game.
Yeah.
You got to highlight Nappy. He knows the ways. He'll show you how to get on your
They
PC.
even gave it away for free, I think.
No, I'm saying you know how to get that Blue Dragon. On the PC.
Actually, what's crazy? Even though the Mic 360 store shut down, you can still buy. There's still some 360 games you can still buy.
Yeah, you can still buy a lot of 360 games. The 360, the 364 store closing just means that when you turn on your Xbox 360, you won't have access.
Yeah, it's a little weird. So if you actually go on the Xbox websites and you look up games that are 360 games and they happen to pop up, you can technically buy them on the website. And then what you do is you have to go to your Xbox 360 and go to purchase history and then download it that way. It's a pain in the ass, but there turns out that you could still buy some Xbox 360 games, like say for instance Silent Hill Homecoming, for example. It's still up on the Microsoft Store as a 360 game. Therefore, you can buy it and then turn on your Xbox, go to purchase history, and then download it.
Yeah.
It's weird, but it's doable. Like Resident Evil Code Veronica is still on the store as a 360 game, meaning you can still buy it, go back to your 360, go into your account purchase history, and download Resident Evil Code Veronica. It's weird, but it is a workaround. And that's that is only for certain. It's like a handful of games that were basically ported over to Xbox One, but still use a 360 foundation where they just didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Like say for instance 5 and 6, they did they only sell the upscale. Wow. Yeah, American Nightmares. I haven't played that game in a minute. Tomb Raider, really? Tomb Raider? That's they got a 360 game? Oh, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Well, I'm going off topic, but yeah, that's how. I'm out. Blue Dragon, I do not see.
I don't think you have to go to any website for that. That you just go on.
Oh, my other way. Actually, wait. Yes, you can still buy it on the Microsoft Store for $6.59.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So yes, you can $6.59 USD.
Yeah,
so
that's cheap. But the problem is it's on Xbox, it's not on PC. That might be the issue.
I guess I'll send you a tutorial on how to rip games from your Xbox to your PC.
Okay.
So
Well, he has to have an Xbox, so he doesn't have an Xbox.
Oh shit, he doesn't.
Yeah.
No, I don't. No, I never done
I will send you.
He'll send you some dark web stuff. He'll send you some dark web stuff.
No, I had never said that. I didn't say that. I just said I'll send you something.
I'm just messing with him. But maybe I'm not.
Infinite Undiscovery is still on the store. That's crazy. I thought that game was going to be gone, lost in time. Oh, okay.
So does anyone else have any thoughts on Xbox? I guess proving the media wrong and showing up to the Tokyo Game Show. Going once, going twice.
No.
I don't expect anything crazy besides that Pixel remaster. That's it.
If Pixel remasters as crazy as it gets, that's a pretty dull show for me, Jubei.
Yep.
But I think they'll have. I don't think they're gonna be there without having some big announcements as far as like getting some AAA titles that they've been lacking for a while. They don't have to be Square related, but I think they'll definitely get some content.
I think you gonna get Pixel Remaster and 16.
I can see that.
Wukong the Game Pass is the last, very last.
Wukong the Game Pass is not happening.
That what I'll say.
It's sitting at 18 million sold.
Yeah, but
and it's the number 4th most played game on Steam right now.
That's crazy.
It is crazy, but most of its sales are specific to the Asia region, so
it doesn't matter what
it does matter. I mean, sales are sales. I'm not diminishing the sales. I'm saying it's specific to a region. So in order to grow into other regions, I'm sure they don't only want to be big in China. I'm sure they want their game to do well in other parts of the world as well. They want to expand their reach and their attach rate. So they're going to have to do something different to reach those different areas. So I think that's something that they're going to work towards, but I don't think that is a Game Pass bag per se. But I do think they're going to try to expand their reach.
Hey Omar, was Blue Dragon a 3-disc game?
A 360.
Was it
No,
three
no,
discs?
360. I'm saying it was a 3 different discs.
It was 3 discs.
Jesus, that game is big. I've
Don't y'all miss
Actually,
those
no,
days
I can't-
when your games was like multiple discs long? Like, yeah, I really bought something. Hey.
the last time I bought a game with multiple discs was Tales of Symphonia for the GameCube, and I was shocked at all the content that was in the second disc.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Back in the day when you bought one of them RPGs and there was multiple discs and they told you to pop in that second disc, you felt like you did something. Like, yeah, time to pop in disc 2.
Yeah, so I found a way.
Then when you finally pop in disc 3 or finally pop in disc 4, you be super hyped. Like, yeah, we about to really
Between 3 games that I wish I could play, it's Viva Pinata. Because I heard about this game. I never played it, so I'm curious what the fuss is about. Blue Dragon and none other than Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey is like $2.
Yeah,
Wait,
but
you said
again,
Lost Odyssey? That's actually buyable in the 360.
Yeah, but it's
You
a
can
really
buy
good
it
game.
on Xbox Series.
Because it's backwards
No, it's not
compatible.
on
You can buy
PC.
it.
That's the issue.
Well, sounds like you need to go out and get
I
you a
mean,
little Xbox.
it's not an
I might
issue.
think
It's
I
their
might think
it's
50
their
if they
game.
remaster it.
Like people like, oh, it's only on Xbox. That's the issue. How is it an issue? Like, y'all want things to be exclusive to the Xbox, and then y'all don't want things to be
No,
exclusive to
but
the
what I
Xbox.
mean with that is Xbox 360.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put that much money for 360 for just one single game.
yeah, but
What's
if you had like a Series S, you could play Lost Odyssey.
Heck, you can buy Jade's Empire for the original Xbox, and still that is awesome.
Yeah, I still play it. I
Mhm.
still play Jet Empire.
That for $3 too. Ooh,
Yep.
I might have to get that.
And it's cheap.
All the
Yeah.
Fables are still available for the 360. What the heck? I thought the store was closed down. I guess.
Yeah, I still.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
It's closed in their language.
Yeah, but I'm finding a decent amount of games though.
You're just not gonna see new content to it.
I mean, no, it's closed. Like on the 360, I can't pull up the store, but if I go on the Microsoft website, I still see games with the Xbox 360 logo next to it. And I did test this out because I bought a game after the store shut down, and then I went over to my account on my 360, was still able to download the game.
I think anything
Yeah,
that's
you
part
can
of the
still download them.
I think
You just
anything
can't
that's
buy
part
it
of the anything that's part of the BC program, you can still purchase.
Yep, you sure can.
Sadly, SSX did not make it for some reason.
Unless the game has been delisted by the publisher, I think you can still purchase it. If it's part of the backwards compatible program.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. We hit everything on the head. We can roll into our outros on a good 2.5+ hours today. Just want to thank everyone for coming out. Hit that like button, share us out. We know it's a lot of things y'all could be doing, but y'all chose to be here, and we do greatly appreciate that as a podcast. With that said, let's jump into these outros. Jubei, where can people find you, and what will we be playing this week?
Yeah, you guys can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else. I'm gonna dive back into Astrobot, get a little Space Marines in, hopefully. Yeah, we got stuff to play.
Nappy, where can people find you, and what will you be playing?
You can find me on Nappy Senshi on Twitter, Nappy Senshi on YouTube. If you want to see the 2 recent controllers I reviewed, these are for the PC and Nintendo Switch. You've got the CRKD, what's this, Neo S controller. So this controller comes in many different designs. I got the splatter green paint because that's the one that stood out the most. Has 2 programmable back buttons, a really fun controller to own for PC and Nintendo Switch. I have the Hyperkin Tetris SNES controller that's also for PC and Nintendo Switch that I reviewed recently. It's a cool controller. hate the fact that this controller has a sticker, and I know you guys probably can't see it, but this when I opened this box, the sticker was already peeling on top of the shell, which doesn't make this feel like a limited edition controller like it claims to be. So, I mean, it's still a decent controller, a fun controller to use. It's just I don't like the sticker peeling. As far as games, I'm going to be playing Wukong. JRPG wise, I took back because I don't know if I should get Vision of Mana. I don't know if I should wait for the Rhinatus game to come out. I don't know if I should play Gundam. It seems like JRPGs are just falling out of the sky, and there's
Visions of Mana is a pretty short game. It's a short JRPG, not a long one.
Which is
Visions, short.
Really?
It's about as long as Black Myth, apparently. Like 35 hours to beat.
I mean, that's a decent time. 30. I mean, that's decent. I mean, I haven't beat Black Myth Wukong yet, but I mean, that's decent. Yeah,
I'm just saying it's not a 100-hour game like like Rebirth is. It's not.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, I'm still stumped on which next JRPG I should purchase. I really do want to play a JRPG. I don't know which one to pick.
Oh, you got 16 coming out next week.
I do have 16. I haven't played it. I haven't even watched the playthroughs at all. So,
you got it on PC already?
No, I haven't gotten it on PC, but I did see that it is coming to. Is it out yet?
Next week, 17.
And 16? Oh God, another. That may be a decent. Well, I don't know. The way you guys trashed that game, even though you said it was an okay game.
You like Devil May Cry. So you might not care that it lacks JRPG elements.
Watch gameplay and decide for yourself. We have
you can play the demo. You can play the demo.
No, yeah, I'll just play the demo. But yeah, I mean, I probably will play 16 because eventually I will play the Final Fantasy. Like even Final Fantasy 15, for example, people were dogging that game, and I still purchased it when day 1 when it came out to PC.
I just didn't like that. Yeah. They didn't finish it, but I did like the game.
Yeah, I got the game with all the DLC for like a solid $50, which I was like, okay, that's nice.
But even all the DLC doesn't finish the game. That's what I don't like.
What about the last chapter with the one guy with the villain? He kind of like closes out everything.
Final Fantasy 15 is finished in the book. It's not finished in the actual game.
Oh, okay.
They never got a chance to finish the game.
Okay, their loss. So, well, but anyway, yeah. Until then, I'll see you guys next week. As far as controllers, I'm working on. Like I said, I got this 8-bit Do controller right here. I don't know if I should really review this because I'm a fully capable person, but I think it'll be a fun review. Trying to play with the controller that like sits perfectly flat on the table so I can access all the buttons. And also on the back here, it comes with these 2 giant button pads that I don't know how I'm going to set this up, but this is going to be very interesting. It's supposed to help with people, I guess, with disabilities that help them play games. So I'm curious to see how much this controller can help and help assist people that need help with holding controllers. So till then, I'll see you guys next time.
All right. And Omar, where can people find you, and what will you be playing?
People can find me in Caravan Discord you have on Twitter and Other Player podcast every Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. As for what I've been playing, well, The Tourist is on my menu right now, but who knows, I'm gonna go back to Dragon Age Inquisition because I want to be ready to Vanguard.
Vilgard.
Yeah, no, Inquisition.
No, you say you want to get ready for Vilgard. You called it Vanguard.
Vanguard. Vanguard.
Yeah,
Thank
like
you.
VIL, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
VIL.
Yeah, that's about it.
And last but not least, Zero, where can we find you? Also, where can they find us?
As always, guys, absolute pleasure. You can find me Zero.exe pretty much anywhere you're playing. Look me up in 2 days. I will be on Marvel's Capcom and that whole run. So that's probably what I will be playing. But more importantly than me, you can of course find us Vitamin G Podcast anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. Google, YouTube, Spotify, Podbean. Just give us a like, give us a comment. Just thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next time.
All right. And with that said, I just want to thank you everyone for getting your weekly dose of that vitamin G. We are out. Peace.
Yeah.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got
All
what you need.
alone.
Vitamin J. Ayy. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. Vitamin J. Vitamin J. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J. Got what you need. Vitamin J. Got what you need.
All
Vitamin
alone.
J. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin J. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need.